whatever we're gonna say.
Babble! Hello, two listeners. Oh. Okay, we sound good.
Yep. Yeah, this is like pre-content, I guess. This is what you get as a patron, just us not knowing what to do for the first 15 minutes.
Just trying to make sense of it. Can you hear the, oh, look at that, 7 people. That's 2. I saw 2 at the 7.
There's only one person.
Oh, okay.
It might not even be anybody. It might just be me.
It might be
and
me.
then yeah.
Oh, we should tweet it.
Yeah.
Hold on.
No, we got monkeys in here.
Mucky! Hello!
I actually hate it when small streams do that, though. Go into the chat room and like call people out that clearly don't want to say anything. But Mucky's in the mock draft, so
We're
He doesn't
going
get
to call him out
these
regardless. I'm excited. Brand got first overall. He's going to take Connor McDavid just to spite me because I said he's overrated.
that would be funny. Although, actually, not the plan.
We can go over in a little bit. We can go over stats.
Doing this live is going to be interesting because sometimes we have issues with our recording software, and we
It'll
don't
be
really
okay.
have. We can't do anything about that this time because the draft will continue. So we're gonna have to just keep a close eye on it.
Yeah, you're gonna see my illustrator. 1 second, people. I need to quit some things.
Are you gonna put the webcam in? That's the big question.
I am.
Oh
At
god.
some point. Oh, look at that. This is a recording software. Apologies, real quick. Need to get this live and ready to go. Ugh.
Oh, this is already open. What?
I quit it on accident.
Ah, Jesus Christ.
And this is some, I should be doing this all off screen, but whatever. Apologies,
Is
people.
Pietrangelo going to surpass 50 points this year? Probably. I think so.
Sure.
I don't know by much. I think 50 points is a pretty decent estimate. That's assuming he gets to keep top power play and they don't start doing weird stuff with Vince Dunn again. But assuming, yeah, he gets top power play, I would think 50 points is pretty good. About what he'll get. Somewhere between 50 and 55.
Oh, I'm excited. This makes me want to do a real draft, like for a league. Oh. I guess this is kind of for a league, isn't it? But we're not actually keeping this league.
Right.
It's the only way we could actually figure out to do... Oh! Hello, friend. That's my dog. It definitely picks up the dog. Oh wait. We have a new little thing.
Oh god.
A real multi-cat monster sound. We're all ready to use it.
This is what the Fantasy Hockey Podcast was missing.
That's all we needed. That's a game changer, to be honest. Such a joke. Okay. We're going to use that anytime what Brandon deems is a multi-cat monster.
Yeah.
We're using the multi-cat monster sound.
Yeah, ask ESPN who would do that. I mean, last year we saw Line 6th overall pre-draft rankings and people took him, so I don't know.
What do you know? What do you know anyways?
I think the hype might even be higher on point than it was on Line last year, too. So
I would probably agree with that. I mean, the fact that Point is, what, 5th? He's above Stamkos.
yeah, that's what he's asking about. Who would take him 5th?
Oh, I didn't see that.
And I
Okay,
was
yeah.
like-
I'd not take him 5th, that's for sure. No,
Well, you
thank you.
won't even be picking 5th, so you certainly won't be taking
Well, I
5th.
certainly will not. No, you are right. Thank you for that.
These rankings are something. So
They were bad. I went through. I I went through and didn't have. I was just so the rankings were so bad, and I knew that I was gonna have to commentate while drafting. And I was like, okay, if I rely on the ESPN rankings, I'm gonna make a fool of myself because even if it was a result of ESPN rankings, Brandon wouldn't let me hear the end of it if I had a terrible draft. So I went through and I got all of Dauber's rankings that they just released yesterday, actually. And so because we released, or they released them literally yesterday, they don't have shots on goal, so I projected my own shots on goal using last year's paces. Not perfect, but at least it's something. And then on top of that, all I did was just standardize all the different categories. So I have my own kind of rankings on the side that perhaps it's after the draft I will show on the Twitch stream. People can see the craziness of what it is, but that's what I'll be using to draft. I will not be using ESPN rankings. Although their shots on goal estimates aren't awful, it looks like. They don't have blocks, for whatever, I don't get why blocks
It's hard
are
to tell.
projected.
I feel like it's hard to make bad shots projections.
Yeah.
You can just kind of average out the last 3 years or something.
Yeah. Like, I don't get why there's no blocks. Also, we noticed this, I hadn't noticed this yet, but ADP is live already, which is really interesting to me. And so, like, Ovechkin's going 7-9, which is
It depends
whatever.
on the league.
Depends on the league. I'd say in most leagues, though, Ovechkin should be going higher.
Yeah.
Kane a first. Are we talking
Patrick?
Patty Kane?
It's gotta be Patrick, and yes.
Patty Kane is definitely a first rounder. Vander Kane, he's ranked pretty high in my sheet, but I'm not going to be taking him first round.
Kane slid fairly unnecessarily last season by a lot of teams. I mean, he didn't slide that far. I feel like he got drafted mid-second, but he was probably worth the first last season, too. It's just he had that kind of not-so-great season, the one before that, and everybody faded him after that. So I think people are back on the train at this point, especially after Tays having such a good season as well, and them showing some chemistry together like back in the old days.
Also, shout out to our Discord. I bet everyone's in here already for it, but if you're not, for whatever reason you found us through Twitch, I doubt that's the case.
Yeah.
Join our
Twitter,
Discord.
maybe, I guess, but
Maybe Twitter. If you're on Twitter but haven't joined the Discord yet, yeah, I think we haven't pushed it hard enough then. Everyone should be in the Discord at this point. One of the best places to talk hockey at this. I'm shocked every time that we'll be like offline doing something or working, and we go back into the Discord and see a question asked, and every time it's like 5 answers to a trade or something.
As a Draft Me Recorder just streamed on Twitch.
Both.
Yeah, but Twitch doesn't keep it for that long. We might export it to a YouTube video, maybe, if we can figure out how to do that. I remember it used to be easier than it is now. Yeah, so I don't know. It's definitely being streamed. It'll be around for at least 2 weeks, and then we'll figure it out from there. I think ideally we save it in some capacity, but... Oh, yeah, Alex Edler. Man,
199. Let's see. Okay, so what is he projected for?
0 blocks.
0 blocks, not true. 142 hits, 136 shots on goal. I think the power play points are actually a little bit high.
That's probably all right. If he's playing power play too.
So the Cats for this mock draft are going to be the ones that we're using for our leagues and the listener leagues. It's a good little preview of what that'll be like, and also our strategies. It's going to be goals, assists, PIMs, power play points, shots on goal, hits, and blocks for skaters. And then for goalies, it's going to be wins, goals against average, and save percentage. Those are the 3 big ones. I'm actually curious when goalies go.
Yeah. The ESPN, they have a couple goalies fairly high, and then a lot of them are really low. John Gibson is something like 200 and something. He might not be that bad, but Holtby is like 225. I can't make heads or tails of that.
Yeah, look, let's go to goalies really quick here before this draft starts. We have 5 minutes, but okay. So Ben Bishop that to me is absurd. It makes no sense. Okay, so dissecting this for a second here. So Bishop has a worse save percentage. I mean, by point what? By 0.01 or whatever. It's not that big of a deal. Goals against average, much better. I don't know if I buy there's going to be that massive of a gap. But look at those wins. 43-31, and Bishop is above him. Makes no sense. The ADP makes sense, though. Vasilevsky is at 7.3, and Bishop is at 31.9. So
look at Holtby.
God.
He's not even on your list right now.
How is Varlamov 67? Or, the fifth. What is he? Fifth, fourth? No, sixth highest rated goalie. Insanity. Peter Mrazek is above John Gibson. How do you feel about that?
That's pretty
awful.
bad. That's really bad. We don't even know if he's going to get the full start roll.
Oh, boy. Oh, yeah, 5 minutes. Okay. 5 minutes. Get your drinks of water.
Should we actually start recording now?
Okay. Should.
I mean, we can clip what we
yes,
don't
we
need.
can.
If we want to intro teams and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm seeing 6 teams that are not in the room yet, which makes me a little concerned. As I don't want this to take 3 hours, but I guess we'll see.
Fingers crossed here. But we do have 5 minutes. Okay. Okay, we put it on. My dog is over here saying hello. Hopefully he doesn't bark too much. May bark a little bit. Can't promise anything there. Okay, let's put the finishing touches on everything so that we're ready to go. And then we'll go live.
His dog, he has left to get water, is a Husky Pomeranian mix. He just ran out of the room. He basically looks like a tiny husky.
Got my Henrik hat. Lundqvist hat. I'm ready to go.
How are we doing webcam?
We are. I'm going to do Henrik Lundqvist with the 8th overall selection in this year's first mock draft.
Take Lundqvist.
I'm taking Henrik Lundqvist. What type of dog? Did you already answer that?
I did answer that.
Okay. He's a husky mix. Maybe we'll show him on the webcam.
Maybe.
If he comes in and bothers, we'll pick him up and show him on the webcam. Woo! I am ready.
Well, if we're putting it on, why don't we have it on? Let's just put it on.
We'll okay. Let's hello. What's up? Got the Henrik hat.
I'm shilling the company.
Shilling draft. That use promo code FHB. Okay, so we've got 2 minutes left. Like we said before, there's a few listeners, 10, 9, whatever it is. Goals, assists, PIMs, power play points, shots on goal, hits, blocks, wins, goals against average, and save percentage. Those are the categories that we are looking at here. So I am drafting. You won't see my queue, so you won't have any idea what I'm thinking here. We'll talk it out as we go.
It wouldn't matter if they did. You don't even have any idea what you're thinking.
I have no idea what I'm going to do or thinking either. You're right. This is completely off the top of the head. Okay, so we're going to do... I'm going to be drafting in a little bit of a weird way where I need to look at my laptop while we go.
And you also got to make the pick calls.
And I also need to make the pick calls because I am going to be your play-by-play caller, and Brandon will be your color commentator for the day.
Yep.
So let's go. Let's start recording for the podcast as well here. So we're good. We're recording. So welcome to the first ever Fantasy Hockey Podcast mock draft. Usually we'd say welcome to the Fantasy Hockey Podcast, but this time it's the mock draft. It's our first ever one we've done, and the fact that it's so early is a little weird to me. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to go. Again, I'm using Dauber's projections. Brandon, for the most part,
I started using ESPN's,
what did you do?
And then I started moving some guys around, and I saw some of the players were so crazily out of whack that I just kind of gave up, and I'm just going to go off the cuff. So we'll see.
So we'll pretty much see how this works out. Brandon has first overall pick. I've got 8th overall pick. So you see me highlighted. You're looking at my screen, my drafting screen here, and we'll see just how this goes.
Yep, we're just under a minute now. I've got the first overall pick. Then we've got pick 2 coming from Team Pasternak. Pick 3 coming from Team 69. Pick 4 is Team Mucky. Pick 5 is Team Lewis. Pick 6 is Relay. I hope I'm saying that right. Relay.
Really? Wow, we need to go to grammar school.
Pick 6 is Team Sweden.
Team. Team Sweden.
Pick 7 is Atko. Pick 8 is Gambi's team. Pick 9 is the Hunters. Pick 10 is Magnum PI. Pick 11 is Team Test, which was left over from this league as I created last year just to get ESPN stats.
Yep.
And pick 12 is the Dumpers. So
with a taco.
With a taco.
Those tacos? Dumper
taco.
tacos.
10
I love
seconds.
Woo!
Pick
Okay,
one.
so Brandon is on the clock in 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're live. Now, Brandon can go a lot of different directions here. Now, remember that we talked about the fact that Connor McDavid, I called him, what was it, overrated. So, what does he do? Kucherov goes off the board, first overall. That's a great pick. I like that move. I don't think there's any question of why Kucherov should be first overall.
Yep.
Those shots on goal totals, he gets you some pims, he gets you some hits, and of course the points. He's got to be up there in the favorite, perhaps the favorite.
When I was considering him against McDavid or Ovechkin, the big difference maker for me was power play points. All right, we've got another pick in.
Second overall goes to Connor McDavid, so I like that pick as well. I don't think that that's a bad one. It's tough. I think, Ovi is a good pick there as well, with McKinnon still on the board, Pasternak still on the board.
Yep.
I think 1-2 consensus is Kucherov, McDavid for the most part.
Yep. Just because of the point count, right?
Just because of the point count. You're padding the stat. Okay, there we go. And McKinnon goes third overall.
We offline were discussing whether we thought it would be McKinnon or Ovechkin third. It is McKinnon. I like that pick. I think, again, this kind of goes back to that power play point consideration where you're going to get a lot more from McKinnon. And probably more points, and you're giving up mostly only hits, as McKinnon is going to shoot just about as much, if not more, than Ovechkin.
And those power play points are incredible. I mean, of the other two guys. Oh, and Ovechkin goes fourth overall.
There you go.
That's a great. That's where he goes. Now, again, this is kind of what we were talking about, right? Almost any league. Right now, Ovechkin's ADP is 7.9. The fact that he's going around 8 is kind of insane to me. Now, David Pasternak.
Yep, I actually think that's a pretty good pick as well.
I don't remember him going this high last year. Am I incorrect in remembering that? I think he was like a late first round. I think he should have.
Yeah, this may have been a few rounds higher, but I mean the other guys you're considering at 5th pick would probably be Marchand, considering this is a PIMS league. You got Crosby around, Burns is probably floating around there as well, and you also got guys like Patrick Kane. But I don't think Pasternak is a bad move. I think he's got one of the highest upsides. Obviously, he's on the best line in hockey. I think there was a little bit of debate with Colorado last season, but I think Boston has kind of shown that they were the most consistent, continued through the entire season.
Yep.
And Pasternak is the best and youngest element on that line at this point. There's arguments for Marchand there, but Pasternak is the goal scorer. You're going to get a little bit more value out of those goals.
Oh, and speaking of Marchand, there goes Marchand off the board. So that's Boston back-to-back.
Yep.
Now, the Marchand pick there is a little bit interesting because I feel like that's a little bit early for Marchand, but I think
it's right there as well. I think it's a good pick. You're going right back after those really hard to find power play points. You're getting a good PIM guy, which is also very hard to find if you're going to have him. He's not quite a multi-cat monster.
Not yet.
Because he only does a couple.
Okay, Mikko Rantanen goes. The Mikko Rantanen pick is interesting. I did not expect him to go that high.
I feel like Rantanen might be a bit early here.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit early. Now, I'm on the clock here. I have a few options. So I think that there's been a lot of forwards going. You see Braden Point up there as an obvious kind of option for selection. I'm not going Braden Point.
I know where you're going.
I have two options. I have two options here. In my eyes, I can either go Patrick Kane or I can go Brent Burns. Now, Patrick Kane to me has a lot of upside, but is also, I don't know. Patrick Kane just kind of scares me to an extent because of his high on-ice shooting percentage last year. So for me, I've got to go Brent Burns. I think it's the most rounded out player. I get that scarcity. I didn't actually think that Brent Burns would get to me. I thought he might go before, but I said that if Brent Burns, and we said this offline, if Brent Burns gets to me, he's my number. He's who I want.
Yep. Brent Burns hard to argue with. He provides one thing Brent Burns does not do that a lot of other defensemen do is provide a lot of hits or blocks. But he's going to provide the most shots from a defenseman by a pretty wide margin, and we're going to see a lot of power play points out of him again.
Hunters, who's after me, actually pointed out in our league chat here that he would have taken Burns. So instead of Burns, he goes Sidney Crosby and Patrick Kane right after him. So we've got two fantastic picks. Sidney Crosby followed by Patrick Kane. Now, I love both of those picks. We had talked about Patty Kane. I didn't consider Crosby. I have never taken Crosby my entire life in fantasy. For whatever reason, I've never gotten him. And now we go Mitch Marner.
Oh!
Now
This is
that's
a risky pick.
wow. And then Tavares.
Okay, Tavares I like.
I like Tavares. Marner is
Marner,
shocking.
I'm a little concerned about because especially if
Wow.
Marner
And then we
decides
go. Well, but just to interject here
Oh,
real
another
quick,
one.
and then Tavares is followed by Stamkos. Now remember
Yep.
that this is a forward
Woo.
defenseman league. This
Okay,
is
they're
not
coming in hot.
coming in hot. And then we got Aho going right after Stamkos. So let's talk about this really quick here. We go Mitch Marner, Tavares, Stamkos, Aho, and now Johnny Gaudreau goes off the board.
Yep.
So we're going quick here. But I think the thing to note here, the important thing is that one Mitch Marner is the biggest shock of the draft so far. It's going to be hard to top that.
So
I
what
love
I'll say
Stammer
about
getting
what I'll say
there.
about Marner is that with his, we don't really know what to expect from him yet because he may not play at the beginning of the season. We got another one in Gabriel Landeskog, just winning
Interesting.
4 of round 2. Again, I think that might be a bit early on him, but his upside is there. I just think there's a bit safer picks so far. Same thing I gotta say about Mitch. I think if he plays all season, that position is probably all right. But if he holds out, you're gonna be in trouble a little bit. Tavares and Stamkos I like as well. Aho is a great pick. It's a little early, but I think if he were not to have taken him round 2, pick 2, he would have missed out on him entirely. Gaudreau, you're going to get points and power play points, but you're going to miss out on your peripherals. But at this stage of the draft, that's a great option. I could have seen him go late
now,
first.
I have 20 seconds here.
Yep.
I'm on the clock. I'm kind of between two guys here. It's tough. There's one guy I really want, but it's too early. I'm between Draisaitl and Sagan. I'm on the clock with 9. I'm going Sagan.
I think Sagan's the right move.
I like Sagan. I want the shot. Look, between Sagan and Burns, my shots there are fantastic. So I like that. I'm still a little bit shaken up, to be honest, from the Marner pick. It was just so shocking to me to take Marner there. I mean, I like it. He's good, but man, that's early. I like it, though. So going back, I like Aho that early. That is bold, and I like it. If I were in a draft, I think this whole season, when I do my drafts, I will be valuing Aho higher than everybody else on purpose. So he's one of those players I want.
Yes, the thing I thought about Aho is that position where he was drafted is probably slightly above where he's going to be ADP. But again, he's probably worth it. And if you were to have not picked him, you're not going to get him. So
Alexander Barkov. I love it. I love it.
Another good pick we
Finally,
got here.
That you can tell.
Followed by Austin Matthews, who fell quite a bit.
Austin Matthews did fall a bit. That's surprising. Now, the thing with that I actually like a lot is one, Barkov has never gone. You can tell that people that are drafting with us listen to the podcast because for the fact that Barkov, Matthews, and Eichel go that early, you clearly listen to the podcast because you know how high we are.
You're seeing
on,
a lot
on those
these
guys.
players. Yeah, you're seeing a lot of these centers going, but because this is a non broken out forward position league, which means they're all generic. It doesn't matter if they're center or not. You don't have to worry about the depth at C because it just doesn't matter. You pick the best available at the time, and that's kind of how you win these things.
And we're seeing some good chatter in ours. We hit the chat on the screen, but we'll kind of point out some of the conversation that's going on during the draft here. Someone wanted Barkov to fall. Another person said they were considering Wheeler and Sagan, but took Landeskog because of the team around him. I agree with that take. I think that if you're debating between those two, and you've seen Rantanen and McKinnon go, Leon Draisaitl goes. That's another guy I did want. I just couldn't justify him over Sagan.
Marked him down to be going in the next 2 or 3 picks.
Yes.
He was no way he was falling to the 3rd round. Just from the name, like how well he's done, how he's outperformed expectations.
Incredible upside as well.
Yep, and especially if he gets to continue to play on the wing as opposed to playing second line center. If he gets that McDavid exposure, which honestly he doesn't even need, but it's just that extra bit for him.
Yep.
And you have to expect that Edmonton's power play has been increasing in danger, essentially, being in scoring potential.
Oh, and we got our first goalie.
There he is.
I love it. I love it. And you know what? That's actually, to me, great value. I think that's the smartest play. Now I'm curious to see what happens here with other goaltenders as they go. But that's a great pick. I'm a fan of that.
Vasilevsky falling to the end of round 2 that's a fantastic deal. He's going to be the first goalie drafted. You can pretty much write that out, like unless you're the NHL fan.
Unless you're the mock draft, for whatever reason, Bishop goes ahead of him. No. I mean, look at ESPN. ESPN has Bishop the highest ranked goalie, which is insane.
Vasilevsky, for anybody who's paying attention.
Oh, Blake Wheeler. I like. Yep, so that's the right one.
Blake Wheeler is a steal. That was who I was going to take just coming up next. So that's pick 11 of round 2. So I'm up here with pick 12 of round 2, and now I'm all shaken. Because I got my player taken from me, but I think I got a couple other.
Man, that would have been great if Wheeler would have fallen to you.
So I think what I'm going to do here So I got back-to-back picks going on. I think my first one, I already said there's no way I would ever let Malkin fall to round 3. I don't really care about the injuries. I know that he's screwed people 2 years in a row now. It's got to be Malkin. This is a PIMS league, so he gets that bonus there. You know he's going to get a ton of power play points.
You know he's going to play 50 games.
It doesn't matter. As long as he plays playoffs, which I get he has not played in the last 2 seasons for fantasy playoffs, he's still worth it to me. Now, I got my next pick up. You got to think, all right, am I going to go defense here? I could. I typically don't. Typically, my
you
story
did last year.
I did last year.
You went Hedman here. I went Hedman exact spot.
What I am not going to do is go Hedman here. There's a few guys that are going around my mind. I do like having 3 strong forwards up front. I don't think I would take, if Vasilevsky was available, I'd probably be looking at Vasilevsky right now. He's not. So the next logical thought is forward or defense. I'm not going to go for a goalie at this moment. The move for me is going to be Erik Karlsson.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Both of us have the San Jose defense.
Yep. So I'm thinking Erik Karlsson.
Like
we saw struggles. We saw struggles at the beginning of the season, but we knew he was playing through injury. Then he went out with an injury, and
We're
when he came
assuming
back,
he's healthy now.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's healthy because we saw how dynamic he was when he came back into the league. When he came back and was able to play at such an insane volume, his numbers looked like they were made up. His shot totals were off the charts for him. And he still provides you
his advanced stats were fantastic. Yeah. There was no sign of a slowdown. Like we all, everyone talked about, he's so inconsistent. Taylor Hall goes.
Yep, that was my other option.
I like that.
I was deciding between Erik Karlsson and Taylor Hall at pick 1 of round 3. Taylor Hall at pick 2 of round 3 is fantastic value. I see a lot of bounce back potential from him, considering he was injured all last season. And now they've got Quinn Hughes, which my gut says he will not be playing with Quinn Hughes, but if he is, you think that's going to be at least as good as Nico Hischier this year. So, and the power play, again, is going to be nothing but better with Subban. We've got another pick here.
Okay, Victor Hedman goes. Okay, that's who I figured would be that third defense. The second or third defenseman I figured would be a mix of either Erik Karlsson or Victor Hedman. Yeah, and the fact that it's Victor Hedman does not surprise me at all.
We've got Victor Hedman.
So now, this interesting thing.
This is 2 lightning players for this guy.
And so Team 69 has a goalie, a forward, and a defense.
Yep. But 2 of those are from Tampa. They've got Vasilevsky and Hedman from
Tampa.
Nathan
McKinnon. I like that team so far.
If you're going to bet on a team, that's one of the better ones to do it.
and the thing I like is that he's depending on goal more than anything. And on defense, there's not really much competition for Hedman outside of injury. So now Team Mucky is up on the board. He's got 17 seconds. He's getting down to the wire here. Clearly having a little bit of a tough time deciding what to do. Oh, and he goes John Carlson. So we're having a little bit of a run of defense here.
And there's
Braden Point now goes. I'm actually surprised he fell as far as he did.
So he was ranked 5th overall,
according to ESPN.
Which is obviously not right, but for him to fall to round 3, I feel like the value there is proper.
100%.
I don't think he fell too far. I am a little bit surprised he fell that far, just because when he's sitting there staring you in the face, because he's sitting at the top of the, you're looking at him every time you're about to make a pick. But there's a lot of good play, a lot of good reservation taken for people to take safer plays, in my opinion. And that puts Point down to where it's probably a logical solution to take him at this round, 3rd round. I really like the value there. I think it's right on point for taking Point.
Oh, look at that. The guy who always rips me for those uses it. I love it. Oh, and Dustin Byfuglien goes. I think that's our first multi-cat monster.
Oh, it is.
It is. Let's go!
So Dustin Byfuglien, an amazing value there at 3rd round. This is typical for Dustin Byfuglien to go. Beginning of 3rd round, we see him in the mid here.
Correct.
The big elephant in the room with him is what happens if he gets hurt again.
Yes. Where is he health-wise? Not just health-wise, but he's getting older, and his play style lends itself to just more injuries. That's just how it is.
One thing we saw last season...
Dylan Larkin goes. Damn, that's why
I'll get to Dylan Larkin in a second. One thing we saw last season was Byfuglien came back, and Trouba kept the top power play. That is no longer a concern with Trouba being let go over to the Rangers. That means Byfuglien is almost certainly going to have top power play. The only real challenge is Morrissey. I don't see it. Dylan Larkin.
So here's the thing with me right now. There's a little bit of. See, he's not on here. I need points right now. The way I'm tracking it, I can tell that I need points. That's gonna be the thing I need the most, and I want to take a little bit of a gamble here. I want to take a little bit of a gamble. Now, there's a player I want that I'll probably get on the next round, I think, and it'll be a little bit of a reach. I understand that, but you know what? I'm gonna go with the hometown boy. I'm gonna go with Artemi Panarin.
All right,
maybe not the best pick, But I think he has, maybe of all these guys, I think Huberdeau is my other option. But I like the upside of Panarin more than anything.
I'm going to scoot back for a second because I think we kind of we glossed over with the picks coming through with John Carlson. Carlson, this is another kind of scenario where you either have to take him there or you're going to lose him.
Correct.
But I feel like he went a little earlier than I would have expected. He's a power play point guy for the most part. The peripherals are like all right, but again, if you didn't take him there, then you're kind of looking down the barrel of a gun because there's not a lot of great top defenseman options anymore.
Again, this is interesting to me because you can tell that we're playing against people that listen to the podcast with the fact that Dylan Larkin went where he did, and so far it's kind of going to how.
Although he was ranked 20th overall,
so he was so that helps. That helps a lot with. ESPN ranked him properly this year. The fact that he went 7th round last year, I don't even. It was so late where Dylan Larkin went last year. Jamie Benn goes. That's
I love it actually. I know there's a lot of fade.
I feel like that's a little early for me.
I don't think so. And then Ben Bishop, another
Ben
Dallas
Bishop.
star.
Okay, so now Ben Bishop goes.
Probably the correct next goaltender. The worry with him, of course, is going to be injuries again. But Jamie Benn, DeBrincat goes.
DeBrincat, okay.
So wait, this is pick 11 of round 3.
DeBrincat, and he had Sebastian Aho and Mitch Marner. So again, the same guy is clearly going a little off the board, and I love it.
Yep.
So it's clearly just getting the guys he wants. DeBrincat, Sebastian Aho, and Mitch Marner, and now Patrice Bergeron goes after DeBrincat.
I love that. I think Bergeron's been faded way too much recently. We saw him go round 5 in our league last year. He's just as good as everybody else. He's just older.
I love this next pick, Morgan Rielly. This guy's team is fantastic. Morgan Rielly, Patrice Bergeron, Steven Stamkos, and John Tavares. And then we've got Timo Meier, a multi-cat monster.
Oh, there he is.
And then Mark Scheifele comes in immediately after.
Yep. So what I'm seeing is some of these teams are not... Oh, and then Carey Price.
Wow.
Pick 4, round 4. A perennial first-round goalie for a long time there. He fell out of favor for a while.
Now give me a second here to just stretch, because I'm going to go somewhere that isn't on this list.
Well, in the meantime, I'll quickly talk about these other guys.
Let's look up Jake Gensel.
Wow.
Jake Gensel, I'm taking him early. I am high on his power play upside.
Yep.
He is almost kind of a multi-cat monster. In love with Gensel.
And Bobrovsky
like that pick as well.
Round 4, pick 6. So now we're probably going to start seeing a lot of goalies fly off the board, I think.
So far, I'd say that the goalies have actually gone exactly as you think. Like, if you think back to, how would you rank goaltenders? And
there's another one.
There's Freddie Anderson.
Excellent value at round 4,
all
pick
of
7.
these. Honestly, I think that this is kind of what we've been talking about all season, is that I think there's a lot of value.
Matthew
Tkachuk.
Love it.
Yes, that's a great pick. So I think what you're seeing here is that people are clearly aware that this is a bangers league.
Yeah.
And bangers are getting taken. And that's why I took Gensel.
Some teams, I feel like, are starting to need to worry about their bangers. We see a lot of good point-scoring teams, but a lot of players have not taken a real multi-cat monster banger-type player yet. So I would love to see where these teams go, including the one you just mentioned with Morgan Rielly and Stamkos and Tavares and all that on it.
Correct. Okay, so now we're on the clock here. Team Mucky.
Yeah.
Rich Rodrigo said, "Damn it" to Matthew Tkachuk. He is upset, and rightfully so. I was shocked that Matthew Tkachuk fell that far. Matthew Tkachuk was my other option aside on the side of Gensel. But the thing with Gensel or Tkachuk for me that kind of scares me is he's not necessarily a guarantee for that top power play, whereas Gensel is. So then Giroux goes, followed by Huberdeau. Huberdeau is fantastic.
I think Giroux at that value is very good.
So is Giroux. They're both great picks, I think.
I think Giroux is more likely to get. I actually like Giroux a little bit more than Huberdeau. I think he's more likely to get point per game pace. Huberdeau obviously did last season, but he hasn't proved it as much.
Torrey Krug goes now.
Torrey Krug,
great value as well there.
Yep. So my pick is up now. I think I'm going to slow it down a little bit and just discuss some of the ones that we kind of didn't get a chance to. Jamie Benn, he was for the long time a first-round pick, and he dropped quite a bit. A little bit of fade there. I think it's a good value. I think we saw him go in round 8 or something in the NHL mock draft. That's too far to me. I think if it was going to be left to me here at the end of this is the end of round 4, so I definitely would have gotten him by now. But I think at the end of round 3 is pretty decent value. Timo Meier I like a lot. You're hoping to see him be top power play this season, and he provides some bangers, as we already mentioned.
Correct.
All right, so now I need to actually make my pick. I've got back-to-backs. I know the first one, which I actually think I'd probably get the lesser value out of, that I actually probably picked second, It's going to be Evander Kane.
Evander Kane.
So
I knew it.
yeah. So
this is your homeboy. This is the guy that
Yeah.
Brandon loves. If he could name his kid Evander Kane when he's born, he would.
So
His wife would kill him, but he would.
So I've got plenty of scoring potential at this point, and now I'm looking for to make sure I'm rounded out. I've got a couple more thoughts on who I would take next here. I think I know where I'm going to go though, and it's gonna I know where I'm going to go. It's going to be Radulov.
Yep.
Alexander
Kinda had to be.
Radulov.
He was staring you in the face.
Yeah. Good for a point per game probably again this season. Continues to be underrated.
Pecorine goes off immediately after.
Oh yeah, Pecorine. The big concern with him is with injuries, of course, but I also think he's going to start somewhere between 50 and 55 games, and the rest will go to Saros, and that's assuming he stays healthy all season. So yeah, Radulov, PIMS, some hits. He actually gets a good amount of blocks, and even though they're not projected here, and good for power play points and decent shots as well. So he not a total multi-cat. Oh, Evander Kane. I mean, clearly, he defines the genre.
And then Elias Pettersson goes.
That's a deep. Pettersson going. That's deep for Pettersson.
I mean, it is a bangers league. I actually feel like that might be a little bit early for Pettersson.
Really?
In a bangers league, I feel like it's a little early when you take a look at the people that are still on the board.
Yep.
There's a few names there on the board that are on the screen that I definitely take over Pettersson. And if they get to me, I will take.
Yeah. Yeah. It's his upside.
There's
though.
one specifically that I'm staring at that I want really bad.
He's probably the one I almost took. But Pettersson.
I think we all know exactly which one I'm talking about.
If Pettersson
probably.
hits his upside, there he goes.
No!
Yeah. Vladimir Tarasenko off the board, pick 4, round 5, and then followed directly up by Max Domi. So here's
Domi's
that's an aggressive one, I think.
That's a very aggressive one. I mean, I don't completely hate it, but like
he's a little risky at round 5.
It's a little risky.
He does provide you a lot of PIMs though, which again are pretty hard to come by if you want to have somebody that provides more than just PIMs.
Yes.
If you're looking at a guy like Tom Wilson, who I'm sure is going to go off the board fairly soon, you're going to get PIMs, but you're not going to get a lot of points.
Mark Giordano goes.
Which you could get off of Domi here.
That is great value for Mark Giordano.
Yep. The big problem with Giordano is whether or not he's going to be able to keep it up at his age.
Yes.
But he had his career season last year at 34, however old he is. So, and I don't think Valimaki's quite ready, or Kylington, or Rasmus Anderson, or any of these other guys that are chomping at the bit to get that top power play slot. I don't think any of them are quite ready to take it from Giordano. So I think him at the middle of round 5 here is good value, as I mentioned. A good power play point guy. And he gets good blocks, too.
Yeah.
And, surprisingly, he gets some PIMs. I didn't know that about Giordano, really, until I kind of looked into him fairly recently. But, he's actually got more of an all-around game than you'd think, perhaps.
Correct. Okay, so I'm on the clock. Chris Letang goes.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I like that pick. I mean, considering, all the defenders that are going and Mark Giordano off the board and already, I like the Letang pick. Now, what I need to do here, so recapping my team real quick here, I've got Tyler Seguin, Artemi Panarin, Jake Gensel, and Brent Burns. I have a pretty balanced team, I'd say. I'm feeling good about where I'm at. Now, I feel that this one is a little bit tough because, to be honest, I'm not quite sure what direction to go. Obviously, defensemen are going a lot, but I do think, personally, there's a lot of defensemen that are still on the board that provide pretty good value. So I'm kind of between two people here. One is a little bit of a riskier pick, I'd say, whereas the other one is not as risky. This is tough. So I'm gonna go Jonathan Marchessault.
All right.
I like Jonathan Marchessault. I don't think it's my best pick. Sure. Yep. I was gonna go with another one that deserves that, but which actually has a team that has that sound as a logo. But I don't know. I like Marchessault. I also kind of want to spread it out a little bit. I think he has a lot of upside potential. And the fact that he fell to round 5 for me, fantastic. And his shots are incredible. So right now, I'm looking at my team, and one of the things that I love is that it's going to be real hard to beat me in shots with Seguin, Marchessault, and Panarin. I'm feeling good.
Is it? I've got Kucherov, Evander Kane, Radulov, Carlson.
I've got Brent Burns, Seguin, Panarin, and Marchessault.
Oh yeah, Seguin too.
Good luck. Good luck.
Well, we'll keep it up. Who's got the most shots?
I actually am tracking. Tom Wilson goes.
There it is.
There it is.
That fills a lot of categories, as we mentioned.
It fills a lot of categories.
Mark Stone right off behind.
I was wondering when he'd go. I like Mark Stone going right after that. I think that, and I might be wrong here, but I think that Mark Stone is an answer to Jonathan Marchessault going. I see you, Magnum Pie, and I'm not scared. I am not scared.
I don't know if it's
But
an answer. He plays a bit of a different game.
And then Evgeny Kuznetsov goes. I fine.
He's
Kuznetsov to me is a little bit
I think
scary.
Kuznetsov has one of the better point
Upsides.
upsides of the remaining players.
But
here.
I don't like his peripherals. And
Yeah.
also from a points upside, I mean, if he gets second line, and you know how they do the whole Backstrom's one time, and then
There goes Marc-Andre
There
Fleury
goes Marc-Andre
and Keith
Fleury and
Yandel.
Keith Yandel.
So Yandel,
Okay.
I believe he led defenseman in power play points last season with 39.
He did.
I don't think that happens again, but
Agreed.
his
PK Subban, I love
that's a
that
great
pick.
Great.
I was thinking about that.
I'm not trying to dog on Yandel. I actually think it's and then Dumba. So the defensemen are flying off the
wow.
board now. Dumba, I hope he's a pick 6 or a round 6 pick. I think he is, but I would feel a little worried about taking him that early.
Dumba.
Yeah,
Dumba.
I think there might be better options on the board still.
Agreed.
Although again, the other
We'll get
options
down
that
there,
I'm looking
though.
at on the board,
This is when the draft gets fun.
the other
Well, this
options
is
on
when
the
we're
board I
starting
don't
to get
think have the
interesting.
same ceiling as Dumba could this season. So
See those first,
especially with the extra categories he provides.
and then Vincent Trocheck goes. Damn it!
There it is.
That was my person. Oh, that's annoying. I got sniped again. Man, can you guys stop sniping me?
I got sniped for Wheeler in our actual league last season.
You did. I sniped because I was right behind you. You don't like being.
I got sniped by somebody else, and then you got traded.
This is tough. I'm in a little bit of a pickle here from what to do. Wow. Well, okay. So I'm gonna allow myself to be a little bit of a homer here.
Oh no, I know exactly
What
what
am
you're
I doing?
You're gonna take Zibanejad.
No.
Really?
Trouba.
Really?
Jacob Trouba.
Okay, this is an aggressive, terrible move from a bad player. He does provide plenty of good statistics. I'll give him that. But he got to play top power play for a long
He
time last
crushed
season and
it.
did well. He did
He
well.
crushed it. Oh, Darlene.
Darlene,
That's
right
a
behind
great pick. I love
Yeah.
that. He just doesn't. He offers the blocks.
Although
which is
Trouba,
like-
Trouba, yeah,
Trouba gets that.
he
Yeah.
gets that.
Look, okay.
I don't hate it, but I think you could have got him around later.
Perhaps, but he's the defenseman I wanted. There's another defenseman that I thought about Yossi.
Yeah,
I thought about going Yossi, but the problem with Yossi for me is the power play. I'm just scared of the power play. Even last year, he was pretty much because again, everyone's saying, "Oh, well, Subban's gone, and so he's going to blow up." Subban wasn't on the power play with him most of the year.
yeah.
He had the chances, and they still can't produce for whatever reason. Nashville just sucks on the power play. There's not much we can do there, so I was scared of that. And Sean Monahan, that to me is a fantastic pick so far. Now that team also has Mark Giordano, so they have the Calgary stack there with Monahan and Giordano. We have a few stacks so far. That team also has Dustin Byfuglien,
Everybody
Austin
knows
Matthews,
my-
and Brad Marchand.
My stance on stacks.
And Connor Hellebuck goes
There he
now.
goes.
Fantastic value to me. I think that we're kind of looking at this. I had said early on in some of our episodes so far that I think goalies have some of the best value this year, as do defensemen. And that's why, so because I said that, because I think there's a lot of value in defensemen, which we'll see, I do have some planned to come. Because of that, I think that I can be a little risky with Trouba. I can take on the peripherals, take on a points upside, and hopefully get point upside with some of the other later defensemen that I like.
Good luck.
Good. I don't think it might not work out for me. Or it might just be that I'm a Rangers fan and I'm wearing my Henrik hat and I felt inspired. It could be that too.
Might be.
I'll admit that has a little bit of play in there.
Roman Yossi, there it is.
Roman Yossi, I like that pick. That's like I said, who I was thinking. I just didn't want to be the person to pull the trigger because of the power play points more than anything. But I do like it a lot. And I think we're starting to see the defensemen go off the board more, clearly.
Yeah, they've
We've
been
gone
really
PK
going.
Subban, Matt Dumba, Jacob Trouba, Rasmus Dahlin, Roman Yossi. There is a defenseman that I'm very curious when he will go. He's just showed up on the screen, on our Twitch screen here. And I'm curious when he goes. Because I remember last year, he was one of the top defensemen picked. And now he's falling quite far. So I'm curious to see where he goes. Now, going back to Zibanejad, I did like that idea a lot. I thought
There goes Mike
There
Hoffman.
goes Mike Hoffman. Like that pick as well. Mike Hoffman provides a lot of coverage as well. Not exactly a multi-cap monster, but just a lot of coverage. Tons of shots. Most likely a lot of goals. More than assists. He'll get power play points. Good deployment. I'm a fan of the Hoffman pick, and I think this late, a guy like him is exactly where you want to go. Goals become scarce right now. There's a few options here where goals are plenty, but they're going to start to get scarce, and I like that. Ryan O'Reilly now, your guy.
Pick. Yep. I was definitely considering him, but I've got a couple other options in mind as well. I do think I'm going to take my first goalie in one of these back-to-backs. Yeah, I think I'm going to take my first goalie. I'm going to go ahead and do it now. Every season.
Oh my God!
Every season, John Gibson, and the reason I'm taking
you
John
do
Gibson.
remember we count wins, right?
I know, but I also know that as far as the other options, I think John Gibson gets the most starts unless he gets hurt.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I
end
agree
of
with
round
Kevin.
6,
I agree with Hunters here. Not surprised at all that Brandon took
the
Gibson.
end of round 6 is pretty good value there. Now, I'm on my next pick. I'm trying to figure out whether I still need to worry about any type of peripherals because I know I got Evander Kane, or if I can just go for points here. I'm leaning towards points, so I'm gonna go ahead and take.
Yes, Tom.
I think I'm gonna.
Brandon loves Gibson.
You know what? I'm gonna hedge my bets here. I'm gonna take Mika Zibanejad.
I knew it. I shouldn't have pointed that out, or the Rangers out. I like that pick a lot. I love Zibanejad, and I think there's so much upside with him. He had a great year. He shoots. He's borderline multi-cat monster, kind of.
He's up there.
He's up there. Not deserving of the button.
Nah, he'll give you a hit and a half. That's pretty decent a game. Plus, good shot totals. Probably going to be flirting with 3 per game this season. Maybe even more, depending on how he clicks with Panarin. So, yes, I do love Gibson.
You 100% love Gibson.
I also
irrationally love Gibson.
I think Anaheim will, if they're willing to promote their younger guys, will do a little bit better than they did last season.
Yeah, let's see how that works out. Let's play a bunch of rookies on the top 6 and see how it goes. Oh wait, the Rangers are doing that.
Comtois and Steele.
Okay.
Zegras is not playing. Zegras will be playing in Boston or whatever. But
okay, 7. Okay, Klingberg goes. That's exactly who I was talking about. I think that's super good value, and he has Krug as well. So because he has Krug, the one thing I will say about this team, which is Ryan O'Reilly, John Klingberg, Torrey Krug, Taylor Hall, Blake Wheeler, and Connor McDavid, is that you're looking at a little bit of a peripheral deficit there.
Yeah, a little bit.
You're killing it in points, but you're starting to get in a little bit of peripheral trouble. Now, you can always make that up, 100%. But yeah, not any multi-cat monsters on that team. But I like the move of both Klingberg and Torrey Krug. So now if I were that team, I would go more peripheral defenseman. We'll see where he goes. The team name is Pasta. Gluten-free Pasternak. That's amazing. I didn't even notice the gluten-free part. I just saw Pasternak. 69 is on the clock. We have great team names in here.
Yes, we do.
Quickly. Okay, so this person, they have Hedman, Vasilevsky, McKinnon, Huberdeau, Pettersson, and Hoffman. And they go Jack Hughes!
Oh,
wow!
That's
floored.
That's aggressive.
Wow.
That's at round 7. I mean, everybody knows my stance on rookies. I'm terrified of rookies.
Can we look up what is Jack Hughes' ADP right now?
I don't know how it's
let's
easy
see.
to see or not.
Let's look this up here. Jack Hughes
73.
Okay. Oh, so he's actually going right.
It's actually
wow, that's shocking to me that he's going where. That's crazy. Yeah, you gotta hope. There's a lot of hoping with Jack Hughes. You gotta hope his size doesn't make an impact. You're hoping that he plays top line, top power play, and Pierre-Luc Dubois goes, and the gamble on Darnell Nurse right after.
Yeah, Nurse I feel like is early. He does a lot, but I think his point totals are about as high as they're ever going to be last season, in the mid-40s or whatever.
I love the Pierre-Luc Dubois pick. Yeah, we'll go there. I love Dubois. I think this is too high for Nurse, simply because he's not a lock for top power play. The fact that he's not a lock for top power play, and you have guys like Joel Persson, who's coming up, a rando who they just signed to a one-way.
Bouchard.
They also have Bouchard sniffing on his heel. I don't think you say sniffing on heels.
No, you don't say that.
You definitely don't say sniffing on heels. But oh, there he is!
Yeah,
Patrick Laine
would have been my next pick.
Not actually. I just wanted to use that for.
Yeah,
Patrick
I don't think he's at all a multi-cat monster. You need to let. Why did we let Gambi set a soundboard up before this? I don't know why we did this.
I literally put an applause in only for Laine. I'm so excited. Okay, so now Victor Arvidsson. I like that pick a lot.
We really love to see him get more power play points because somehow he's like allergic to them.
Yes, that's kind of the issue. Okay, so now I'm on the clock here. This draft so far for me has been about upside. it's been a gamble and take upside draft. It's early it's early in the year. There's no way for us to know exactly how lines are going to shake out. But that being said, there's someone that I like for upside more than maybe almost anybody in the draft. Do you want to guess who it is?
No.
Okay. So it's going to be Andrei Svechnikov.
That's early.
I
would
think
not
the
have taken
upside
him
is
in
worth
round
it.
7.
I think the upside is worth it.
I hope he
I'm
crashes and
okay
burns
with
now.
it. I mean, of course, you hope everybody I pick crashes and burns. But the thing with
Although
Svechnikov,
I will give him. He's trying to be
up
over.
there. He's up there.
This
Now,
is his deal.
the thing, that's exactly why I like him. I mean, if he reaches his upside, I like it. And if I'm seeing guys like Patrick Laine, if I'm seeing guys like Pierre-Luc Dubois, I'm seeing guys like Svechnikov go off the board, I need to react to that. So this is not so much to me. Yes, it's a little bit early, but again, like we've always said when we do our podcasts, is you've got to go with how the draft is going. If you're seeing goalies go off the board, start to kind of think about that. If you're seeing defensemen go off the board, start to think about that. I'm seeing guys like Svechnikov go off, and to me, Svechnikov is the best of all those guys. I'll take the upside. That's fine. And also, Arvidsson before Forsberg, someone pointed out. That's a that's a good point. I didn't even think of that. Well, good catch. That's good catch.
You know, I actually don't. Oh, we got Shea Weber.
Shea Weber goes after Svechnikov. Okay, I like that.
Yeah, with him not being injured to start the season, and the amount of stat coverage he gives.
I will say he was dangerous last year. He wasn't that great. So he's a little bit of a dangerous pick to me. I agree. Weber is a little bit of a reach, but he does offer peripheral. So for this team, for example, it just took Weber. They've got Trocheck, Tom Wilson, Carey Price, Jamie Benn, Gabriel Landeskog, Sidney Crosby. They're pretty set in a lot of peripherals there. So Seth Jones goes after him, and now Teuvo Teravainen.
Not the biggest fan of taking Turbo here. I get that he had a great season, and he could have another good season, but he doesn't provide much beyond his point scoring. And if he doesn't manage to get that happening again this season, he could be a big bust.
Correct. Now, Sean Couturier goes, and Phil Kessel. I like both of those picks. I love the Couturier pick.
Yep.
I'm actually surprised he fell this far. I only didn't take him because I didn't really need him or those peripheral. I preferred a more rounded out player like Svechnikov over someone like Sean Couturier. But I like it. And Phil Kessel, I think this is the perfect place to get Kessel from a value perspective. I think if he would have gotten to me in this next round, I would have taken him. But this is the perfect round to take Phil Kessel. And so far, I must say, there's been some reaches, but so far the draft has gone, for me, how I'd expect it. And I must say, the people around here in the draft, damn it, Cale Makar goes. That's who I was going to reach for the next one. I love it. I love the Cale Makar pick there. I love the Cale Makar pick.
So,
risky. Yes, but I love it.
I think it's early, but
we're seeing other guys go early. Like you've got to react to this.
I wouldn't react to it by taking Makar. If he winds up losing to Girard, that's bad news.
I don't think he does though.
But going back to the Forsberg,
but again, like right now, though,
Arvidsson thing, I think they're closer than a lot of people want to admit. The thing is, in this league with Forsberg giving hits, I think that's
Jordan Binnington. There he is.
With Forsberg giving hits, that would be the difference maker to me more than anything.
Yes.
But I think the goal scoring is actually more likely to go to Arvidsson at this point.
Jordan Binnington. I love the Cale Makar pick. I think, again, yes, you don't know what's going to happen in terms of lines, but we're drafting really early here. And this early, you've got to take a gamble on upside. And you're paying for that upside with a little bit of risk, yes. But it's the same thing I'm doing with Svechnikov. I'm hoping he lives up to it. Now Forsberg goes.
I don't gamble in the first 8 rounds.
Well,
as everybody knows.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna take my first goalie here. Do you know who? You know
Carter
exactly.
Hart.
Yep, Carter Hart. Yes, it's Carter Hart time. You knew it was gonna come. I love Carter Hart. I've been saying all off season long that I think Carter Hart is perhaps going to be the best value of the year in terms of goaltending. I think for where he's gonna go. I think people are gonna be afraid of second year, and that makes sense. Carey Price had struggles his second year, and I'm well aware of them. But I think he does well. I mean, look at these stats last year: 28 wins, a 9.21 save percentage, 2.57 goals against average. I love that, especially this late when you're seeing guys like Binnington and everyone go. I'm happy to take a goalie here.
Yep,
he's better than Gibson.
I don't know about that.
That's a bit of a hot take. I'll admit.
I don't know if he's going to get the same amount of starts either. Although the wins might be higher.
Yeah. Let me see if he can beat out what's his name? Always injured Brian Elliott.
Nope.
I don't think he will.
All right. I'm actually starting to scroll to try to figure out what I want to do next. This is where ESPN's rankings are going to probably do me in. But luckily I have a few picks before mine comes up. But I think a lot of us are starting to do this now. You see the picks starting to slow down.
Yeah, everyone's kind of trying to figure out exactly what's happening.
Yeah. Oh, it is a wasteland out there.
It is starting to become a wasteland. Braden Holtby goes here. Okay, I think we all know what's about to happen.
Yeah. The goalie rush.
The goalie run.
Is super late though.
This is late.
Yep, Rask.
Rask goes now. Okay, yep. And Tyson Barrie right before him. So.
I don't know how I feel about Barrie this season.
I like. There's a specific defenseman I want that I would have taken above Barrie all day.
Yeah,
personally. I don't know if we're all thinking the same person, but there's a specific defenseman that I really like above someone like Tyson Barrie. See, the thing with Barrie is I do like, we've been talking so much about upside. I like the upside of Tyson Barrie in the sense of maybe he gets that top power play, but I don't see it. I think they run 1D on the power play almost guaranteed. I mean, they did it 75-80% of the time last year. Toronto ran 1D. So I just don't see it. But now Jeff Skinner goes. I like that, especially with goals being kind of a rarity. I'm a fan of that.
Good value.
Yeah, great value.
Alex Edler looking for the blocks.
Edler.
Yeah.
There it is, the best one.
And then Matt Barzal. This is super late for Barzal.
Wow.
If he can bounce back to any type of form, that's going to be a steal. And that puts me on the clock, and I'm terrified.
Now, I must say that the Barzal one is interesting because, yet again, gluten-free Pasternak is just spitting in the face of peripherals. Because remember, this team has John Klingberg, Matthew Barzal, Ryan O'Reilly, Torrey Krug, Taylor Hall, Blake Wheeler, and Connor McDavid. There are no peripherals on that team, which is okay. It's going to be hard as hell to beat that team in both power play points and in normal points. But I must say, that's a good. I don't know if with that team I would have taken the risk of Matthew Barzal just because you need peripherals. But I like Barzal at that spot.
All right. This is one of those times I think I could have had a better pick here, but I feel pretty good about this first one to take, which is Oliver Ekman-Larsson.
Okay.
Here, round 8, pick 12. Good amount of peripherals. I think
you've talked about him a lot on the podcast.
Yeah, I think he's going to be even better this season with a better, Kessel being on his power play is a nice change. But then next up, boy, I feel like my peripherals are in decent shape, so I'd like to have another goal scorer. I could be risky here. Well, not that risky. We're talking about 9th round.
Again, you say you don't like going risky.
It's 9th round, though.
It is.
I said
now is the time to gamble.
I don't do that. There's a couple options. One of them you're going to hate, but at this rank, I think it's all right. You know what? I'm gonna take Ricky Rax.
Oh my god!
Going back to my
that
roots.
is a reach. I mean, I think that's more of a reach than Trouba.
This is round 9.
Yeah, but
Trouba you got in like round 6.
So
that's a big difference.
That's not important.
It's a big difference.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry.
If Rax comes back to anywhere near form, I like that a lot. Especially considering he brings hits and not a ton of them, but one a game or so, but more than 0. Which is what I'm looking for at this point.
I mean, more than 0 is not exactly a high bar.
One a game is where I consider a person a hitter.
Alex Pietrangelo. Now, again, okay.
We just talked about him. I actually like Pietrangelo. The only concern would be whether they start doing Dunn stuff in the top power play again.
Yep.
And then Gustafsson.
Eric Gustafsson. That's not who I was thinking of, but I like that. I like that pick a lot.
The only thing you got to worry about with Gustafsson is, his peripherals aren't great, but also if somebody like Adam Boquist comes up, he could get challenged. I don't really see that happening this season, so in a redraft league, I think it's fine. But I do worry about Gustafsson's long-term viability. Correct. But in a redraft league, I think this is fine.
Yeah, I think it's. I'm personally kind of fading Gustafsson only because I'm scared of him recreating what he did last year, even though it's doable. I don't want. Again, says the guy who's taken Jacob Trouba and
Dougie Hamilton goes.
Dougie Hamilton.
Good multi-cat guy.
Personally, don't like the Dougie Hamilton pick.
Got more points than Falk, despite not being on top power play. And then Nico Hischier.
That's a good hedge. I like that, actually. Yep. That's good value, too, especially if you're of the belief that Jack Hughes will not get top line, then Nico Hischier is a great pick. I like Nico Hischier.
And even if you get the second line, you expect him to play with Gusev, and hopefully something will happen. But I would expect they put Hughes and Gusev together. But I guess we'll see.
It's interesting because right now you're starting to see teams kind of shape up and how they're building out their rosters and what they're caring about, what they're punting on. And it's beginning. You're beginning to see where people are going, and you start to have to decide not just am I going towards the player that I want, but also I need to build the team in the way that I want. And so you can't necessarily just go, I want this specific best guy.
So to talk about big fallers, we still have Nick Backstrom available, which is
It's
interesting.
surprising, yes.
Again, he's not a peripheral guy, and you have to worry about whether he's going to play with Ovechkin. So I can see why he's falling a bit.
Now, Jonathan Toews and immediately Joe Pavelski goes.
Yep.
Okay.
Pavelski was another one falling.
Yep. Now, I like the Toews pick a lot. I think that's actually incredible value for what he did last year. 9th round for higher than point per game guy.
Yep.
And great power play points. And
Yep.
he's going 9th round. That to me is very surprising. I like the Pavelski pick a lot. It's a little bit risky because we don't know where or how he's going to play.
I think it's totally fine.
Okay.
I would worry about more stylistically. He's
Now,
going to be able to keep his
I do want to for a second here look at goaltending.
banger stuff up.
But I'm okay on goaltending for now. There's a specific player that I was eyeing. Sorry, I would like to think through my thoughts here, but again, this is one of those times when we're starting to scroll a little bit, and it's getting tough. Oh, and I just blanked on who I was thinking. Oh my God.
He's scrambling.
Oh, I scrambled. I'm taking Voracek. I scrambled Voracek. I guess it's not that bad. I panicked. I had a player in my mind, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll go here. I was like, no, I'll go this other direction, and I completely forgot the player I was thinking about. But I think Voracek's fine. I'm happy with Voracek. I mean, especially 9th round value. I'll take Jacob Voracek there. I'm not proud of myself for.
What have you done?
Oh, I panicked on camera.
Voracek is a good pick there, though.
I got
Really
lucky that he
there.
was there because I was looking there and I was like, oh boy, Clayton Keller, William Nylander. I could go wrong many ways here. Now I know who I'm going with my next pick. Drew Doughty goes, also great value if he turns it around. He still had a good year last year. It was actually kind of in
very
line
good
with what he's been at.
Very good
so,
peripherals.
okay
Him
with
going that late is excellent value.
Yes, especially when you consider guys like Tyson Barrie have gone, Dougie Hamilton have gone. Drew Doughty is a great, and this isn't a good example of in future when you're really, really drafting for real. Take advantage of guys that are on bad teams. Like I like queuing up bad team players just to see how far they'll fall because there is a point at which they are always worth it, and this is a situation where Drew Doughty is 100% worth it.
Yep.
That's I gotta say so far.
I gotta say he usually goes like 5th round or something. So this
I also
is
gotta
much better
say
value.
I think Hunters might be one of my favorite teams so far. Sidney Crosby, Gabriel Landeskog, Jamie Benn, Carey Price, Tom Wilson, Vincent Trocheck, Shea Weber, Philip Forsberg, and Drew Doughty. Love that team. And now Quinn Hughes goes. Not
And
many
Grubauer.
peripherals there. Quinn Hughes goes, and then Grubauer. Okay.
Grubauer is a great option there.
He is.
I wonder if this is going to start people trying to pick their second goalies here. I feel like I want to hold off still, but I'll let the draft kind of dictate my next move there.
Yeah, just see how people start to react.
Yep.
See if we actually get a second goalie run here.
Yeah, now that we're essentially...
And now
in the
Rasmus
10th round.
Ristolainen goes.
That's great.
Great pick. I mean, the fear there is he might get traded. He's not going to get top power play.
I would prefer him to get traded at
Well,
this point.
maybe.
But
He might not get top power play if he gets
Right,
traded.
so
He's on a good
He's going to
contract.
lose some power play points.
And then Matt Duchene goes.
But even if he only gets you 35 points, he's still pretty good. There goes Chabot.
Chabot goes.
Great value at round 10. Assuming he can do anything like he did last season.
Yes, if he's even close to last season, you're looking at great value there. There's still quite a few defensemen on the board, honestly, that are good options. So I think here we're starting to get into, I think the difficulty for most owners will most likely be, do I take a defenseman? Brady Tkachuk, that was going to be my next pick. That's what I was going to take.
bangers.
Actually, I was going to take him.
Oh, absolutely.
There it is, absolutely. I was going to take him over Voracek. Henrik Lundqvist goes.
Wow.
That's...
I
don't know if... I hate that pick. I mean, I love the Rangers, but quite frankly, just he is not the player he used to be. I love Hank. I'm wearing his hat.
Lundy fell, but he's not going to play more than half the
Woo!
games.
Now, hold on. If we're talking about fallen goalies here, I'm going to go goalie because there's a goalie we've been talking about on the podcast for a long time now that is getting faded hard. And
There's
we've
a handful
gotten...
of them.
No, there's a specific one that we've talked about in Discord and a lot of places. There's a specific goalie that I want.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
his
yeah.
name is Matt Murray.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Matt Murray. I mean,
love Matt Murray.
Yeah,
there.
the only reason
that's
we hate
exactly
the Lundqvist pick is because of starts.
that's exactly where I
starts.
wanted Matt Murray. My second goalie is Matt Murray. I'll take that all day, all day.
It almost feels like you drafted him in the wrong order. It's weird.
I know, it almost feels like, why am I getting Carter Hart before? But it's just because of rankings, Matt Murray is so much lower than every other goalie. He's getting faded so hard. It makes no sense. There's still some good goalies out there, but I'm very, like, if we look at this list now of goalies, you're seeing Semyon Varlamov on there, Peter Mrazek, Devin Dubnyk,
I think Martin Jones on the right
Monty
team fits
Ranta.
very well.
Yes.
If you're not worried as much about
save percentages. Like,
yeah,
let's say you have
goal against.
Vasilevsky, for example. That's a great counterpart.
you can
You're just going to dominate wins.
yeah,
They're never going to lose wins.
block up wins.
And then you're starting to get into, like, the Jacob Markstroms, the Carter Huttons, things like that. Elias Lindholm goes off the board now. But
that's a
again,
good
I
value
think
for him.
that when I look at that list, the reason I went goalie was because I think Matt Murray was the best on that list left.
Yeah.
And after that, the fall off from Matt Murray is relatively big. Elias Lindholm, and I want to go back to the Hank thing. I don't hate Henrik. I don't hate the Henrik pick. I just don't like Henrik there.
Robin
and now
Leonard
goes.
This is a gamble on whether he's going to be able to get max starts over
Corey Crawford.
over Corey Crawford.
And now Zach Werenski goes, so we're seeing a little bit of a defenseman run as well.
Werenski, I'm not the biggest fan of. He doesn't provide a ton.
Not as much of peripherals, but his points were almost exactly the same as Seth Jones last year.
Yeah, but that's not saying a lot.
No, it's not. It's not.
So I have some concern about what it is. So 44 points.
15 power play points, 168 shots on goal.
The peripherals are not good with him.
Not great in the peripherals.
But who knows? You're kind of hoping that he takes over top power play again.
So does someone want to trade me Henrik Lundqvist for Jacob Voracek? Is
Yeah,
that on
go
the
ahead.
table? I think whoever's the owner would take that in a heartbeat. This draft is actually moving a lot quicker so far than I expected it to.
Which is good.
We're already in the 10th round, which is good.
Nearly 11th.
We do want to do these a little bit. I'm thinking about doing them a little bit more often. Someone asked if this is
Cam Atkinson. Excellent.
Excellent value.
Yep.
Excellent, especially when you look at the scarcity of goals that we're starting to get towards. Excellent value. Now, there's a player on there that's sticking out to me.
There's a couple that
someone
I like
asked
a lot.
if we're releasing this as a podcast. We are releasing this as a podcast. If you're listening to this on the podcast, this is useless for you because clearly it's a podcast.
Yep.
But yes, it will be released as a podcast as well for people who could not tune in on Twitch. We'll also be keeping the video on Twitch for about 2 weeks. We're also thinking about doing these more often, like maybe weekly or so if I can. I don't know if Brandon can because he's going to have a kid.
Yeah,
but
I probably can.
I most likely will be able to jump in and do quite a few more mock drafts on Twitch if that's a thing that we start liking. Okay, so now 18 seconds on the clock for 69. Let's see where he goes. Now, looking at his team, he just took Eric Gustafsson and Alexander Edler, so he's probably not going to go defenseman. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes goaltender here. And this is the team that we were talking about that has Andre Vasilevsky, and he goes Logan Couture. Good pick.
Yep.
I like Couture there.
That's
10th round,
very
10th
late.
pick.
Mhm.
That is a very late, good pick for Logan Couture.
I'm starting to. My pick is coming up, and once again, I'm starting to wonder what I should be doing here.
Nicholas Backstrom now goes. So again, gluten-free pasta is.
Yeah, Backstrom was actually
Genuinely,
something I was looking
I'm
at.
using this again. He is sniffing the heels. Wait, no, that's for something else. He is just completely fading peripherals. It's incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a.
It's risky.
It's risky. It's getting risky.
So I think here
because you're also fading block peripherals.
we're
as
essentially
well.
talking about the end of the 10th, the beginning of the 11th. It's my pick. There's a player to me that has fallen dramatically, and it is a result of what happened last season. But he was one of the most hyped players at the beginning of last season. So I think now it's a good time to take a gamble on him. That player is Anze Kopitar. For him
Okay,
to fall
I like
to the
that.
end of the 10th is really insane to me. I get that he burned a lot of people last season, but I think there's a little bit of an overreaction for him to as far as fall as he
What?
fall as far
Wow.
as he has.
I like that pick this late, and we've talked a lot about how we don't like Kopitar, he's overrated, but I think a 10th round value in a 12-person draft is exactly perfect.
Yeah.
That's exactly kind of what you're looking for.
And defense is really starting to get rough over here. I think again, there's a couple of options here that are like sticking out to me, but there's one in particular.
No, don't you do it.
I'm not doing what you think I'm doing.
Good.
The one I think I'm actually going to take. The one I think I'm going to take is Ryan Pulock. Now this is a gamble.
What?
We're in the 11th. I expect him to get a good amount of peripherals because he gets shots, hits, and blocks. He gets shots, hits, and blocks.
Okay.
But the gamble here is he squeezes on the top power play.
Also, this isn't, by the way, this isn't gluten-free pasta anymore. It's peripheral-free pasta. That's what we're calling this team. This is peripheral-free pasta.
If Pulock gets onto top power play early in the season,
Yeah.
I'm in fantastic shape.
Yeah. So
That's
now
the gamble there.
So now I think the only issue that I'd say on your team, if I were criticizing it, well, no, I mean your defenseman right now so far is Erik Karlsson, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, and Ryan Pulock. So it's your third defenseman. Your third defenseman can be a gamble.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. I
Yep.
think it's fine to take a gamble on your third defenseman.
I don't really have much of a choice anyway. Everybody left is gambles.
That is true. I mean, we're getting into the
It's
we're
gamble
getting into the
territory.
area of like there's a good chance some of these guys get dropped at some point.
Yeah.
I think after this round, like usually I feel like the 12th and 13th, maybe the 13th rounds is where you start kind of picking people that are most likely going to get dropped at some point. Now Miro Heiskanen goes. That's
That late, it's worth it. I think it's still a gamble. You might be able to get him a little later
Let's
than
look
that.
at- let's look at
and you're
defensemen
hoping
left.
for Klingberg to not be able to.
the only issue I see with it is I see people on here that could still be top power play.
Yeah, well, one.
2.
I see one.
Okay, maybe one. Okay,
but he
assuming-
hasn't done anything with top power play.
But also assuming that I'm assuming that what's his name, Dustin Byfuglien gets injured at some point. So I like Morrissey maybe.
Nah, his peripherals suck. Oh, shots suck anyway.
Brock Besser. Wow, that's
Yeah,
good value.
super late. Yeah,
That to me is incredible value.
This is where you really got to scroll around because there's guys like him sitting in the middle of nowhere because
That
of these
is-
rankings.
That is a fantastic value. Love the Besser pick. Genuinely, that's an incredible pick. I mean, if you can get Besser that late, whew, you're doing real well.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, we're getting down into the scrolling territory now.
Big time.
The big question is going to be who takes Alexander Ekblad.
So many scrolls.
Who takes Ekblad?
I'm so glid he hasn't gone yet.
I know.
If somebody had drafted Ekblad before the 10th round, I would have booted them from any future mock drafts.
That team is never allowed to mock draft again if you take someone that early. Okay, Semyon Varlamov
Great.
now
Love
goes.
it. Love
Great
it,
pick.
love it.
I mean, look, I don't get the
There goes
fade.
Justin
There
Falk.
goes Justin Falk.
Yep,
Love
that's
it.
The right choice on defense at this
Now-
point, I think.
Here's the thing I don't get. Okay, I don't understand why Varlamov is getting so faded when we saw last year what happens on a Trotz team,
Yep.
right?
And a Mitch Korn team, for that matter.
If Robin Leonard and forget Robin Leonard, Thomas Greiss can do what he did, why can't Semyon Varlamov? Now I think the issue with Varlamov is there is a fear of injury.
Yep.
That's the big fear. That's the one thing that I think makes his value actually kind of justifiable to drop a little bit. But other than that, like I think Varlamov is a fantastic. I think I'd take Varlamov over Leonard. I like him much
at this
more
point
over
I
Leonard.
would. Yeah.
Okay, so what are we? Okay, so who went? Shane Gossett.
There it
Damn
is.
That was my next pick.
Another good gamble.
Ugh, now we're.
They actually have hinted that Sanheim will have an opportunity at top power play if Ghost struggles again.
Yep.
So, yeah, you're not gambling, or you are gambling, but it's late enough that it's worth it. His upside, as we've seen, is very high. It's just a matter of if he's going to be able to perform again or not.
Yep.
So I really don't mind that much.
Okay, I think I know where I'm going for my next pick here. I want a little bit of upside. This is interesting. Okay, so Atco is on the board. I could go quite a few ways on this next pick. I'm looking at my composition right now, and I'm actually very good in hits. I'm very good in the PIMS department. I'm doing well in the shots on goal department, so I'm doing well. The place where I'm kind of struggling is assists and points. Right now, Shea Theodore went off the board.
That's awesome. I love it. I
Wow.
love Shea Theodore around round 11. That's crazy.
Wow.
The odds of him losing top power play now with Colin Miller gone are very low. He shoots a lot and was shooting a lot more as the season progressed, and he was getting better and better. I like Shea Theodore. I think this year might not be the year that he's like an elite defenseman, but I think he's heading that way. I think around 11 is fantastic, just fantastic for him.
So for me here, I'm going to go with someone who is ranked pretty highly on ESPN, and I actually do like, is Kyle Connor. I'd need assists.
He's one of those
and I need
guys that I
points.
just don't want to draft him ever. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I don't like him. There's no real reason. I just don't like
I also almost pressed the wrong button, but Kyle Connor is my next pick. I like it. I need points. I think Kyle Connor will deliver me the points that I need. Not so much in the peripherals department. That's okay with me, because right now I'm focused more on the points that I need. But that puts me in a pretty good spot. It puts me towards the top of the league in projected gold so far, according to Dauber, of course. Gives me good hits still. I'm very balanced. I like being more balanced than I like being heavy in one specific
Aaron
place.
Ekblad, what have you
there he is.
done?
I also called him Alexander Ekblad, which is
You
bad,
shamed
but he
yourself.
kind of deserves being named incorrectly.
I don't like you
but-
anymore. We're looking for a new co-host. If you guys
Aaron
know anybody
Ekblad,
that
I like that. You
won't
see,
mix up
Hunter's new.
Dylan Strome,
Dylan
love the
Strome,
gamble.
love that gamble. That's
Yeah.
a great. That's
No
a great
peripherals,
place.
but
No peripherals at all.
at this point, as long as you have,
I mean, if you
as long
but
as it's
look,
on your mind.
but this team has Brady Kachuk, Seth Jones,
Yeah.
Matt Tumba, Mark Stone, Mark Scheifele, Johnny Gaudreau, Patrick. Okay, never mind. Maybe they are
Half and half.
A little bit.
They got
It
a couple.
depends.
They got Brady
They got
Kachuk,
a
but he's
few.
not going to answer all the problems.
You can answer. It's not like a peripheral free pasta. William Nylander now goes. I like that a lot. I love that. I love William Nylander here. I don't think he's as bad as.
No, this is an excellent value.
It's
for
an
him.
excellent value for William Nylander there, especially if that second power play gets better with Tyson Barrie, because I expect him to be there.
Don't tell us that.
Yeah, Hunter said that he had Ekblad queued up a few rounds ago, which is fine.
Martin
You can-
Jones, great.
Fantastic pick there.
What's
too.
his other goalie?
His other goalie is Grubauer, and that's it.
That works well together.
That
Martin
does.
Jones and Grubauer, I think, works pretty well
Yeah,
together.
you might like absolutely tank save percentage of goals against average some weeks, but you're okay. So Martin Jones, and then it's followed by Jake Muzzin and Anthony Mantha.
Mantha, I love. He was going to be my next pick. Jake Muzzin, don't expect much in the way of points. His peripherals are going to be there, and defense has gotten pretty.
Also,
Boring at this
I'll
point,
correct
so.
myself real quick. Jones, the person who took Martin Jones, does not have Grubbs. They have Fleury. So it's Fleury and Martin Jones. I like that even better. And now Anthony Mantha, and then Evgeny Dadonov.
That was going to be
finally
my
goes.
other pick.
Finally,
So
Dadonov
my next two
goes.
picks are. I was planning on being Mantha and Dadonov. We see him go about 10 picks before I start. Not completely surprised, as I think that they were the best players on the board. So good picks by both Team Test and Magnum PI here. Round 12 for Dadonov. We mentioned this already. He gets faded every single season. And Mantha, and he was faded for a reason prior to this season.
Yes.
But we saw him click with Larkin. He had a couple, 4-point games in a row or whatever it was. So love Mantha going forward, especially if he's able to continue that chemistry with Larkin. It looks like we have a little bit of time here, so I'm going to talk about some of the quote-unquote fallers.
Hunter's has 13 seconds so far.
Yeah. So we got...
Okay, Ian
Horvat.
Horvat. Here's Horvat. I like that a lot. I was kind of eyeing Horvat. Not really. I don't know. I don't think there's much opportunity for Horvat with Pedersen there. It's just,
Yeah,
whatever. Whatever. It's not incredible, not fantastic, not awful. Okay, so for me here, I'm also going to take... I have two options here. I could be a homer,
Why wouldn't you?
or I can go with what is probably the smartest pick. So again, looking at kind of where I'm at on my team, I need assists more than anything. So it's tough to justify being a homer because of that. So I'm going to go in a different direction with someone who's somewhat similar still, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Let's actually press the button there.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is a
But I
very
like
good
Ryan
pick this late. I
Nugent-Hopkins.
was looking at him as well.
I think he's a great faller, just a good upside. Like again, this is so you're seeing my draft so far, and this is kind of how I like to do it. I like to shore up peripherals early with big kind of rounded out guys or someone who leads in a lot of categories. I took Brent Burns, I took Tyler Seguin, so I'm good at shots. Take Jake Gensel, you take Jonathan Marchessault. You're in a good spot. Now you take Jacob Trouba too. And so it leaves you opportunity to later gamble a little bit with guys like Kyle Connor or Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and you're not that worried anymore about stuff like peripheral free pasta should be here soon.
Matthias Ekholm goes. Big blocks. I don't think he's going to get top power play, so finding points. But in Nashville, somehow the defensemen always wind up getting their way into points.
Yep.
So this deep, I like that.
Capo Caco, I knew it.
That's about time.
I knew it.
Seems about right.
Ugh. The reason I didn't take Kako is because Kako, in my opinion, will be more over-indexed in goals. I am fine in goals right now. And so taking Kako doesn't really help me in the assist category. And then Tomas Hertl goes. Love that pick as well.
Yep, great for both of them. I think the value's right on point. Okay. I'm scrolling so heavily to try to figure out what I'm going to do next here. I think there's a couple of options. I think I know what I'm going to do, and they're off the board at this point. So that's going to be interesting. But that's what happens when you get down to the 12th, 13th rounds. You go off the board.
Now I am in a little bit of a pickle here for defense, I guess. I didn't really expect Jacob Trouba to be my second defenseman, but sure.
Well,
That's what happens when you take Jacob Trouba in the 6th round.
I'm going to be flush with forwards.
Yeah.
It's going to be a matter of...
Brendan
Brent
Gallagher
Gallagher,
goes.
fantastic pick.
Love it.
Yep. Very good. Very, very good. Lots of...
There's Team Mucky. I like Team Mucky's composition so far. Brandon Gallagher, Semyon Varlamov, Cam Atkinson, Dougie Hamilton, Jeff Skinner, Pierre-Luc Dubois, Roman Yossi, Vladimir Tarasenko, Claude Giroux, John Carlson, Leon Draisaitl, and Alex Ovechkin. I love that team.
Yeah.
It's a really well-balanced team so far.
Sounds very good.
I'm a fan of that so far. And Brendan Gallagher that late is good. And we're starting to get into the area now of, okay, you're starting to gamble a little bit even more.
Yeah.
And we've said that now a few rounds, but like I said, on this next turn in round 13, you're really starting to just say, okay, I'm going for either highest upside, I'm filling peripheral holes, what exactly are you doing? And Brandon's sitting next to me over here scrolling for days trying to find somebody he likes.
I have
Ryan Suter goes.
I have 2 players in mind right now. It's just a matter of if I take both of them now or if I wait on one of them. But I think I know I'm going to go with my next 2 picks. So Suter goes. Suter may share some top power play time, especially if Dumba gets hurt again or something. But, yeah, I like that pick at that late. I don't know how much he's going to be able to bring, but especially considering his shots have been declining. But if he's good for 40 points again, then whatever else he can bring is kind of just a bonus. There goes Ryan Johansson. That's actually pretty late.
That's a great.
He brings
interesting. I mean, but he's probably not going to be top power play.
Yeah.
It's a bet on Nashville just being a good offensive team.
Yeah.
Which isn't awful. I don't hate that bet, honestly.
Okay, so my first pick here, I already think I'm pretty good in peripherals, but I really like Josh Anderson.
I was eyeing Josh Anderson as
the
well.
reason I like Josh Anderson is because with how depleted the forward talent is in Columbus, there's a decent chance he's going to be able to find his way into top power play. I don't think it'll happen necessarily, but I think his opportunities at scoring and his ice time will go up, which will increase his peripherals and his point scoring. And then with my next pick, I'm going to take...
Now again, though, peripheral free pasta took Ryan Johansson.
Yeah.
Just bet shit.
At least he gets pimps.
I mean, he's at least staying on brand.
So my next pick is going to be Kyle Palmieri. Getting him in the 13th round, I feel, is great, especially if he's able to play with Hall again. You know, you have Hall, Hischier, and Palmieri like we saw. I think he's going to be able to get top power play, maybe.
Yep.
It's a matter of if he gets to play there in place of Hischier, which I think he would. So getting a top-line, top power play guy on a line that strong this late, I think feels right. And he gets hits. And some hits. Oh, Josh Anderson, come on now.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. And Kyle Palmieri.
And Kyle Palmieri.
And David Riddick.
And nope.
No, not David
And
Riddick.
Brendan Gallagher. Gallagher gets it.
We've been a little bit delayed. You see, this is why you let Gambi press the buttons.
Why? Because you forgot.
I did forget.
I had to push him. That's what's going on now.
So I love the Palmieri pick. I think that one's incredible value, to be honest. For this late, that's fantastic. I think David Riddick is also a good bet.
Excellent.
I'm
Excellent
actually
pick.
surprised because if you look at like Dauber rankings or you look at even NHL mock drafts and stuff, you see Cam Talbot going super high, which makes no sense. It's like here Thomas Greiss goes now after Riddick, so people are clearly looking for that third goalie. Now the thing.
No, that's a second.
Oh,
He's got
second goalie.
Vasilevsky and Greiss now.
Okay.
So that's interesting. I actually don't like that. I don't mind that that concept of you've got such a good first goalie that your second goalie only really needs to do is have decent numbers, which you know you're going to get out of Greiss because he showed it last season. He doesn't need to start so much because you're going to get a ton of wins out of Vasilevsky just alone, and you know that your goal against and save percentage numbers are going to be good. So I actually really like that Greiss pick as a backup to Vasilevsky, despite the fact he probably won't be starting. I still think he'll get, in the mid-30s of starts. So.
Also, I would like to point out that Peripheral Free Pasta chose David Riddick, who also does not give you peripherals.
Surprising.
Now Vince Dunn goes.
And Provorov. So Vince Dunn, you're gambling that he's going to be able to take top power play again. It's kind of the reverse play of Pietrangelo. Does that team actually have Pietrangelo? No. That would have been interesting. But he's an okay gamble at 13th round. I think there's some better options available, but I don't hate it. Provorov, I mean, Provorov is basically the Ekblad of Philadelphia. Although his peripherals tend to be a bit better. I don't know that he's able to be able to put over 40 points in a season unless he gets top power play, and it seems like Sanheim seems to be the next in line for that.
Yep.
So I don't know, but he gets peripherals. So at this stage, if that's what you're looking for, that's a good pick.
Now Charlie McAvoy goes. I like that pick. That's a good gamble on whatever could happen. Torrey Krug doesn't always play a full season. Jaden Schwartz now goes.
So Jaden Schwartz, I feel like it's going to be a pick that people are not thinking about. Jaden Schwartz had a pretty bad season, and then he had a pretty good playoffs. So what you're hoping is that he's able to refine chemistry, get back on the top power play with Tarasenko, play with Ryan O'Reilly.
So are we forgetting anybody, do you think, specific that might be good? So remember that Ricky Rax went earlier.
Yeah.
So that's fine. There's someone I'm thinking about there, but
Oh, you looking for Getzlav?
no, I like Getzlav, but there's a specific guy I'm looking for here.
Oh, Comtois.
No.
Not Comtois.
I'm taking Nikita Gusev.
Okay. You can gamble on this late if you want to.
I mean, it's late, but look, he's almost a lock for top power play. I think his projections: 40 assists, 12 goals, 12 PIMs, 15 power play points, 113 shots on goal. 113 shots on goal to me seems really late, or really low, sorry. Of course, no hits or blocks or anything like that, but for assists, I mean, come on. And I love, and now Clayton Keller goes after I take Nikita Gusev, and I love that pick. And a lot of people are mad about Gusev, but they liked him. I think I agree. Someone said they would have taken Gusev a little bit later. I agree with that. I think you could have taken him later, but I'm looking at kind of the upside of different places. And again, like I said, my team, for whatever reason, has been kind of struggling when I look at my my stats so far as they're accumulating. I'm down in assists, so why not take that gamble? So now Josh Morrissey goes.
Yep.
I like that. I don't hate it. Again, we're getting into the territory with defensemen now. The people are just kind of gambling on could this person take over for an injury.
I still
guy.
need to get my second goalie.
Yeah, you're in
Someday.
trouble here.
I feel all right.
I think you just
I got
don't.
4 picks left. I think a lot of people already have their
I
second
think I
goalie, so
actually
there's no real
know.
reason for me to push for mine. I can just wait it
I
out.
think there might be a goalie that I'd like that is still there.
There's a couple of goalies that I don't hate.
There is definitely one that I love. There's definitely one that I love.
Samuel Girard, I love it this late.
That's awesome. That's who I was thinking about taking on the turn.
Good bet.
I love it. I love
Braden
it.
Shen is very good this late. Gives you the peripherals if he gets to keep top power play, which seems possible at the very least. That's also a good look.
I love the Girard pick. That's who I was going to take on the turn. I think you want talk about upside in a team that of all the players that if they take over top power play gets a benefit, Girard is probably the biggest of them all.
Yep. William Karlsson. Look how far he's fallen.
That's unbelievable.
I like it. I think he's got 60+ point upside. His peripherals are me, but this late that's a great pick.
Yeah, as we're entering the 14th round here now.
Yeah,
we are
we're
entering
in
the
14th
round. Okay, there's still some value out there, and so we start to take a look at kind of team composition, and most teams have 3 defensemen except for one. That's me.
You're the only one that has...
I'm the only one with 2 defensemen so far. O'Reilly has 5. 69 has 5. Brandon so far has 3 defensemen. Team Mucky is 4. Team Lewis has 4. Hunters has 3. Magnum PI has 4. Tess has 4. Colton Parayko now goes after Kevin LeBanc.
Mm-hmm.
I like LeBanc there. I think LeBanc there is an incredible pick. I know we talked about LeBanc perhaps being a little bit overrated on one of the episodes, but that late, that's exactly where you'd want Kevin LeBanc. If not, I wouldn't blame you if you took him a little bit earlier, honestly.
Yep.
Okay, so now we're continuing here. 36 seconds on the clock for Hunters, who I think so far may be one of my favorite teams. He takes Travis Sanheim. So Parayko goes, followed by Sanheim. Okay, so now I'm on the clock here. Let's go look at defensemen. Why not? Let's see what's out there. I mean, there's really not much there, to be honest. There isn't much here for me to choose from. You're looking at this, and I'm just not excited by anything. I mean, I know what I'm going to do later. But wow, look at that. We're close to the territory of people not even being there. But I remember I said that I had a goalie I really, really liked. So I'm going to go with my third goalie here on a team that I think has a lot of upside. I think he's ranked too low.
You're taking a third goalie?
I'm going Jacob Markstrom.
You're taking a third goalie?
Yeah, I'm taking a third goalie.
You've lost your
mind. So we're going to switch our leagues this year to 4 starts. So you kind of need 3 goalies.
You don't.
So I'm taking Jacob Markstrom. Love Jacob Markstrom.
Nazem Kadri.
Nazem Kadri. Love that pick.
Yeah, that was my next pick. But it's gone now. And now I don't know what to do with myself.
I mean, I also think there's going to be people like you who are going to need a goalie, so I can always trade.
I'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll see.
I know exactly what I'm doing. Alex Galchenyuk, very good pick back this late, especially if he gets top power play, which you won't. But if he gets to play with Malkin, which I do think will happen,
especially now Kessel's gone.
Should be good.
Yep. So I'm done with goaltenders, I think.
I actually think I'm going to be a little brazen and take 2 more forwards and just finish out my bench. But that's what I do.
See, so I have 1 more bench spot and 2 empty D spots. Yeah, my D is. I mean, I did this last year too. I faded D hard, and now I'm in shambles. I mean, I know what I'm going to do next, but this is getting into dangerous territory here. Let's take a look at the defenseman here real quick while Team Mucky is on the clock. Nikolai Ehlers goes. I love that pick. Nikolai Ehlers is a good pick this late, at least.
You call him Nikolaj again?
I called him Nikolaj again. I've done that before. I don't know. I don't know why I do that, but
It's not that.
he is not Nikolaj. Definitely not a Nikolaj. Okay, so what are we looking at here? There's quite a few options still on the board. Galchenyuk now Anders Lee goes.
That's
Great
really
pick.
late, yeah.
Great pick.
You
Very
fell
late.
super far.
The fact that Barzal went so early too. Not that you should draft based on how the line mates go, but the fact that Barzal went so early tells me that people are, for whatever reason, high on the team, maybe, but not so much everybody. I don't know. I think the Barzal pick was too early, to be honest. But I like Anders Lee, 14th round, 9th pick. That is a steal.
Mm-hmm. I thought Barzal was all right. He got picked in like the 8th round or something. It's pretty low.
Was he 8th round? I thought he was higher than that.
He may have been. I don't know. You got the chart.
I do have the chart. Let's see what Barzal went at. Okay, so you're right. Yeah, he went 8th round, second pick.
Yeah, that's good.
That's not terrible. I don't mind that. Okay, so now we're looking at Sam
Sam
Reinhart
Reinhart.
goes.
Yep.
Okay, good. So people are clearly we're getting into the gamble territory of let's gamble on people who are going to get top power play or whatever, that kind of thing. I don't mind that at all. Okay.
So I'm hoping my next pick gets to me, but we'll see.
May not.
I kind of feel like I'm gonna get sniped again, like with Wheeler.
Let's see. Oscar
didn't.
Clefbaum.
Didn't get screwed Clefbaum. He's burned me too many times. I hate him.
I don't
But-
personally like that pick, just because there's so many more options ahead of him now for top power play. What are you doing here?
I'm going to take.
Are you finally getting a goaltender?
Nope, I'm taking.
Oh, I knew it,
Max
yep.
Pacioretty.
That's a fantastic pick.
Tons of shots, tons of hits. Hopefully, he gets top power play. But if he doesn't, it's fine. Whatever, I guess. And then, I thought I had another option, and I forgot what it was. Let's see if I can figure out who I was going to take here. I was thinking about.
Let's see. He's scrolling. He's got 41 seconds on the clock, so he's fine. He's got time to scroll.
I have plenty of time, but I do forget who I was going to go for.
Don't you just love when that happens? You're on the clock for 60 seconds, and you have a guy lined up, and you completely forget who you're talking about.
I mean, I have an option that I'll take if I can't think of anything else, but you know what? I'm just going to take him. I'm going to go Zach Parise. Just like I did last season. I think he's guaranteed to be top line, top power play.
Don't hate it.
If he gets hurt, he gets hurt. He actually blocks. He doesn't throw a ton of hits, but he gets about half a hit a game. Although I think I'm pretty good with my hits. So I was really just going for somebody that I thought would play top power play, and Parise is probably the best bet.
Yeah, I like Parise at that stage now.
Oh, I remember who my other guy was, but I think I actually prefer.
Now, peripheral free pasta is going right now. Clefbaum doesn't help you with peripherals.
No.
So I'm curious to see where this is going.
Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I don't really know.
So I'm
what else to
officially
say
out
there.
of forwards unless I go completely insane and don't draft another defenseman
Which you're not
or
going to
goalie, which I'm not going to do. So the rest of my draft is boring.
You're just gonna take defensemen, and that's it. Again, yeah, we're at the point now where you just got to fill.
I have a feeling peripheral free pasta is panicking.
Yes.
He's down to 3 seconds.
Down to 2, 1. Oh,
There it is.
Derek
Step on.
Stepan.
I actually like that.
Peripheral free pasta still.
Peripheral, yeah.
I love that
peripheral.
this is on brand.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Now I'm gonna look at again. Like I said, I've been tracking how above everybody else certain players are. Peripheral free pasta is by far and away first in points. Again, he has one extra player than everybody else. Like he's right above Brandon.
Yeah.
He's crushing people in assists. Like it's not even close. But then in the hits and Pim's category, just it's sad. It's real sad. I mean, 69 is up there too, with just kind of the sadness. Hunters has a great team. I think Hunters is a little bit behind in points for my liking, but peripheral wise, crushing it. Crushing the peripherals. I don't hate those. So Yeah, Peripheral Free Pasta has or not Peripheral Free Pasta, this isn't right. Hunters has 1,329 hits projected. Brandon has 1,373. But should note that Brandon does have one extra guy than Hunters.
And it was
Hunters done
Patches.
great, yes.
Oh, no, it was Prize. So
Yes,
Prize's only
yes.
going to be 44.
TJ Oshie is the next pick off the board.
Pretty good that late.
I like that. Yeah, that's a good. That's good.
Probably
value.
going to be top power play. So he's another one of those guys that I probably should have been looking at this point, considering I think power play might be my weak point at the moment. But even so, I think I drafted in such a way that all my guys, except for maybe Pollock and Kane and Anderson, will be on top power play.
Yep. So. Okay, so what are we going here? Team Mucky now here is going. Let's take a look at his team for a second and see where you go. Okay, has 10 seconds left, so he might be panicking as well. And he goes Nick Schmaltz. I like that. Now, the thing that is dangerous with Mucky here, even though he just made his pick, is he needs a goalie. He only has
Mikhail
one.
Granlund, very late. 15th round, pick 5. I like it.
Yeah, Mikhail Granlund. I love both of those picks. Both Nick Schmaltz is a good risky pick, as is Mikhail Granlund.
You want to hope he gets top power play. You probably assume he does, but you got Forsberg, Arvidsson, Yossi, and then either Jonsson or
Mikhail Sergachev goes.
I
would never pick Sergachev.
JC Miller, good gamble.
Yeah,
Slate.
I like it. I like that
Round
pick.
15. Yeah, round 15.
Vidtine. Okay, now I need a defenseman. Boy, I hate this so much.
It's not even showing me forwards anymore, by the way. Just remove them. I can only see goalies. They won't even let me draft an extra forward.
This is brutal.
I might. How do they let me?
Yeah, this is bad. I've got 36 seconds on the clock. I'm taking a look at the defenseman available. It's not pretty.
What have we done to ourselves?
What have I should take Neil Pionk.
You already have
last.
You only have 2 defensemen? Oh, you are ruined. Gambi's team has been ruined by himself.
Nope. I am still in it, boys. We are gonna do this because we're gonna take Mike Green.
Oh man.
I mean,
oh boy.
Yeah, Mike Green. Look, probably top power play on the wings. Not a great power play, but kind of fills a hole that I need, and I have an idea of what I'm gonna do for that 4th defenseman.
Oh my lord, I am in trouble. Why are they projecting Colin Miller for 15 power play points? Get out of here with that.
I don't know. That makes no sense. That's too high. So yeah, I'm in a good spot so far. My team is pretty even. It's very even keeled. Jonathan Drouin goes right after Mike Green.
Love it.
Love
good
that
pick
too. Yep.
Oh, the defensemen are so bad. Oh my god. They're so bad.
They're so bad. It got real deep. Will Butcher's on there.
Oh
Lord.
It's awful. Everything left is pain.
It is.
I've done horrible things to myself. Just looking through this list.
This is awful. Yeah, and you're at the end. Good luck. I mean, there's really just like, I think I actually know where I'm going to go with my next one.
I have a couple options actually. The more I'm looking at it, I have a couple options that I don't hate.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of options, but I don't need.
Okay, now Jeff Pete. Okay, so a few guys go here. So Jonathan Drouin went. Jason Zucker, James Neal, Jeff Petrie, and Mikhail Backlund. James Neal is. I don't hate it.
No, I like it. I like it that deep. It's a good gamble. And there goes Chronic. Actually, that would have. Jeez. I bet he wasn't ranked, was he? Damn it.
Probably not.
I would have probably taken Chronic. I would have taken a gamble on him because he's probably going to be top power play. Well, maybe him and Mike Green. I like the Backlund pick. And then he goes Philip Roenick. I love the Roenick pick as well. What am I going to do?
You're in trouble, sir. I mean, we both are in trouble because I need a defenseman and a bench. I've got 3 goalies. I wonder how many people went 3 goalies. I do not have that in my sheet, but I think we might be able to look at that in here. Team somewhere.
Team test was a Neal pick. That's a great pick that late.
That pick. It did give us a laugh.
It did. I don't know.
Nino Niederreiter goes. Sure. Guess.
No, that's good. I like it. I like that pick a lot. If he gets to keep top left wing and top power play, he's in great shape.
Yeah.
I like it a lot that late.
Okay, so now Hunters is on the clock. Hunters needs. Well, let's take a look at his team real quick before he picks here. Hunters, they just have bench, so they've filled out their team. They've done a great job. Again, like I said, I think so far the winner of the draft has been Hunters. I love their team, and we'll recap all the teams at the very end. But I gotta say, love the team. So far, they have 2 forwards on their bench, so I wouldn't be surprised if they go with defenseman for their bench. No. They could just keep going forwards here. Their defense is pretty good in Ekblad, Doughty, Weber, and Sandheim. I would maybe... Brandon is down in the 500s.
One of the unranked guys. trying to
Colin
find a
Miller.
gem.
Colin Miller, that's a really good one.
I don't know.
That's a good one.
I don't know.
That's a good
He's
one.
got Dahlin and Ristolainen in front of him. He needs to get Ristolainen traded even to get into
That's true.
PP2.
Okay, so I have two options here.
Oh, I'm scrolling and I'm scrolling and there's
See,
just nothing.
If I were a
There's just
peripheral free hunter, or a peripheral free pasta rather,
Yeah,
I'd
there
know
are good peripheral
exactly.
guys.
I know exactly where I'd go. I'm not really hurting for that, so I'm actually going to take a massive gamble. And Evan Bouchard. He might not even make it, but at 16th round, if he makes the team, he's the favorite. Now, the thing is that no one's going to take him because he's probably not going to get drafted, but Joel Persson has a one-way contract. So if Evan Bouchard is not, and this is just, I think, for future advice, if you get Bouchard, for example, I think you can guarantee yourself power play on Edmonton if you pick Bouchard and then you pay attention to Persson. Because there's a good chance that Persson may get it over, or it might be Persson, honestly. He might get it over Bouchard, but I think it's one of those two guys, or Darnell Nurse. So I think that it's either going to be Bouchard or Persson, or Persson, or whatever. Dude, Clefbaum's gotten all the opportunities in the world.
And they keep giving them to him.
It's so bad. Or Darnell Nurse, I think. So I don't mind the Bouchard pick. I honestly, to me, at 16th round,
There goes Nate Schmidt.
the odds of that person staying on your roster long term are so low, I'll just risk it and try to get a top defenseman. Okay, so now Nate Schmidt goes. I like it.
Yeah. I don't know what to expect from him from a power play standpoint. He might be able to sneak his way back on there. But beyond that, his peripherals are okay at best. But, I mean, you're talking 16th round.
Yeah,
at this point,
it's
it's full gamble mode.
Yeah, at this point, like we've said, you don't expect anybody really to still be on the roster. There is one guy I'm eyeing that I really want at the end here. We'll see. UC Saros, that's a fantastic pick, too.
Yep.
Team Lewis, that's a great pick. And they also have in net, they've got Tuukka Rask and Connor Hellebuck. So that's a fantastic goalie tandem there between those three. Gotta say, I don't know what my favorite goalie tandems here would be. I like mine a lot, honestly.
There goes
I
Mrazek.
love that, and there goes Mrazek too. Okay, that's it. So we're getting into the third goalie territory. pretty
Nope,
much.
that was his second.
Oh, or it's his second. Okay, so he's got Mrazek and Varlamov. Not bad. Not great.
I know exactly what I'm doing for my second goalie, and I feel very comfortable with it.
I know.
No!
Monty Ronta, I knew it. I
Somebody
knew it.
took him.
I knew it.
That's a third goalie. What are you doing? I thought I was safe.
Nope. Now you're screwed.
Now I'm
You,
screwed.
sir, are screwed in two positions now.
Yep.
What are you going to do?
I still know what I'm going to do. Actually.
Peripheral free pasta is on the board here. Kasperi Kapanen got picked. I didn't see that.
Sure did.
Okay.
I'm ruined.
Completely hate it. So peripheral free pasta on it. He takes Zach Cassian. Okay, those are peripherals. Well done. Well done. Take some peripherals, sir. A little late for them, but why not? It's pretty much dessert.
You know, I don't really have a choice. The thought was going to be to take Ronta and then just hedge with the, no wins but good numbers beyond that. I could try to do that with
You're gonna
Kemper.
go Carter Hutton, aren't you?
I could do that with Kemper, which would be an interesting option. Considering he'll probably get a decent amount of starts, I may actually do that. The play might be Kemper for me, or Dubnik. You know what? I'm going to go Dubnik. I think that's the right answer.
That is. I'm shocked he fell this far.
Yeah.
I mean, Minnesota sucks, and you're not going to get many wins, but he's gonna play.
Yep. So it's me again.
Good luck on defense.
It's truly, truly bad news here. There are two options I have, I think. You know what? I'm going to stick to my guns from last season. I am going to take Chikrin with my last pick.
I knew it. You love Chikrin.
It was either going to be Chikrin or Devin Tays. I think Devin Tays is a good option. I already have full luck. I could have handcuffed myself to the top power play. Well, Letty, I guess. But with Chikrin, I have the handcuff with OEL. I don't have to worry about benches because I don't have any extra defensemen, so I'm not going to have to bench on D ever.
Yep.
And if they both play top power play,
Andreas Athanasiou goes.
like it. I like it that
Love
way
that
for
pick.
sure.
I think I know where I'm going with my next one, too. I have a good idea.
So my draft is done. I'm
You
finished.
are complete. How do you feel about your team?
I think it's really good.
Of course, you always love your team. Brandon will never not like his team.
What do your
Pretty
statistics say?
You actually are one of the top teams. So I'm not going to say that you're not one of the top teams. How about that? I think that's the a fair assessment.
I always like Chychrun as well. I've seen potential in him. It's very annoying when he gets scratched. But
James Van Riemsdyk.
JVR this late is great.
Yeah.
I don't see Chychrun getting scratched like we saw at the end of last season, unless he's like doing stupid things in the locker room or something. So the odds of him being able to get top power play are fairly decent, considering they did like him there. So hope for the best.
We're getting down to the last. This is the last round now of the draft, 17th round. I just need to fill out my bench. I know exactly where I'm going to go with that.
There is
Owen Byram.
Ooh, he's probably not going to play.
I mean, it's a it's a good gamble if like bad thing. Will Butcher.
That's a troll.
That's a troll on us. How dare you take
Ryan
Butcher?
Reeves, that's a fantastic pick, actually. Lots of hits, lots of pins, some shots, actually. It's just a matter of if he gets scratched, which is annoying, or suspended.
Travis Connecting.
Yep.
Love that pick, too.
Good pick this late.
Now I know where I'm going here. Blake Coleman.
Yep. You missed it.
I missed it. I missed the button. There it is. Blake Coleman. I mean, I don't know if he's going to give me much in the realm of, he's not even projected. Look at that. What a steal.
I was looking at him earlier. But, yeah, he's probably going to play third line this season, you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think I could see him getting maybe second line. Perhaps.
Maybe. You have to bump down Brat, I guess.
Yeah, like if Brad's not ready, then you play Coleman up there. But just the peripherals that he gives you is so worth it.
So there is a player that I was surprised went undrafted, and that player is Patrick Hornquist.
Wow,
I mean, he still might get drafted, but good shots, good hits, top power play. Absolutely. Not huge in the PIMS department, I guess, but he provides a lot of value.
Alexander Georgiev, just to handcuff Hank.
That
I
does
like
make sense, though.
that makes sense because he has Hank. Georgiev played fantastic. Now the big question mark, of course, is does Georgiev get that second round or that second spot, or does Shesterkin get that second spot? But if you're taking,
it's
you
gonna be
know
Georgiev.
Shesterkin is not going to get picked.
Shesterkin's
So
going
you're
to go AHL start.
It's not guaranteed.
I will bet you now.
I mean, I would bet. I think it's more likely than
I think
not
it's very
that
likely.
Shesterkin
Based
goes
on that.
AHL, but it's not out of the question that maybe
Paul Stastny.
not bad.
Yep. Not very exciting, but he'll get the job done. Should be good for 50 plus. Maybe flirt with 60 points.
Maybe. I'm like floored by just how much no peripheral pasta, faded peripherals.
He's projected for 50 points. Stastny
is.
Yeah, and that's about what he got last season. So. Actually, he got less than that, but I don't think he played a full year. It's very hard to look up stats on ESPN. It's not the best.
Yeah, ESPN's design is not exactly the
I
greatest.
can't. There's no way for me to look at his last year's stats until I drill completely out. So he got 42 points in 50 games last season. So that's actually not bad.
That's
It's just
not
a matter
bad
of
at
him
all.
being able to play.
Being healthy.
Yeah.
Okay, so team test here. We got 2 more picks, and then we're done with this first mock draft of the year. Who knows how many we'll do this year, but it's the first. That matters.
It
more
is
than
the
anything.
first.
Okay,
Jack
Jack Campbell goes.
Nice.
I love that pick. That is a fantastic
And
hedge.
Wayne Simmons
And
rounds
Wayne
it out.
Simmons rounds it out. So there you
Yep.
go. There's my team with all their pretty beautiful faces. Okay, so let's recap these teams real quick for a second. Let's start first with Brandon's. So let's talk through your team. So we've got Nikita Kucherov, Evgeny Malkin, and Evander Kane, Alexander Radulov. You went pretty heavy with peripherals, and you go Mika Zibanejad, Ricky Rax,
Mhm.
Eric Carlson, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Ryan Pulak, Jacob Chychrun, Andrei Kopitar, John Gibson, Devin Dubnyk, Josh Anderson, Kyle Palmieri, Max Pacioretty, and Zach Parise. I'd say that's a pretty damn good team.
Yeah. So the plan early, of course, was to get some multi-cat monsters, which I did via Evander Kane and Zibanejad to the most extent, and then also Josh Anderson at the end there. But beyond that, I was mostly worried about scoring potential, actually. After I took Anderson, I felt like I was falling behind a little bit. So I tried to grab somebody like Parise, who I thought would have scoring upside. Kopitar, bounce back season, hopefully. Getting him at whatever the 9th round or 10th round or whatever it was that I got him felt pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with everything. I wish I would have gotten Ronta, but I don't really hate the fact that I wound up with Dubnyk that late. It didn't really work with what I was trying to go for, but I don't have to worry about the 4-star minimum. And then Chychrun is a gamble. But I feel like beyond Chychrun, I don't have any giant gambles in there. I feel like everybody is pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like the biggest gamble of the draft in general, not by you, but just in hindsight, was Mitch Marner at 11th overall.
Yeah.
That was just shocking to me that Mitch Marner went 11th overall over Tavares Stamkos, over Austin Matthews. That one to me felt like probably the biggest reach. The other biggest reach was definitely Jack Hughes.
Mm-hmm.
He went, I think, 6th round or 7th round, somewhere around there. That felt like a massive reach. Not awful. But yeah, I don't hate the Mitch Marner pick there, but with the situation of his contract, I hate it.
Yeah.
With the contract, I think the contract should knock him down like maybe 2 rounds or so.
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay, going over my team here. I took Tyler Seguin, Artemi Panarin, Jake Gensel, Jonathan Marchessault, Andrei Svechnikov, Jacob Voracek, Brent Burns, Jacob Trouba, Mike Green, Evan Bouchard, my God, that defense, Kyle Connor, Carter Hart, Matt Murray, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Nikita Gusev, Jacob Markstrom, and Blake Coleman. So
you definitely have some gambles in there.
I do, and I think I went into this draft purposefully trying to gamble, and I think Artemi Panarin is a gamble. Just as far as like ceiling goes,
Bouchard.
Gusev is a gamble, and Gusev right now is on my bench, which is fine. Bouchard is a gamble. So is Andrei Svechnikov. But again, I think see the Svechnikov thing. I don't know if I gambled as hard. If I would have gambled as hard, and my cat is playing with my dog, kind of. Anyways, so I don't know if I would have taken Svechnikov later in the year this early. It's just that right now there's no way possible to know if Svechnikov is going to get that top power play or not. But
Right.
I will take the gamble on that happening because if it does, he should be incredible. Again, he led the league last year in expected goals for.
Multi-cat monster.
Multi-cat monster for sure. I'm literally a cat back here playing with my dog. Well, my dog is not wanting, or he's trying to play with him, and my cat is not wanting to play. There he goes. Okay, anyways, a little bit of a distraction, but yeah. So I think with my team, it was about gambles, and it was Carter Hart as a gamble. I like the security in Matt Murray at the end there, and then my defense is just shambles. Yeah. Brent Burns obviously leads the pack. Cool. Jacob Trouba is a gamble, but I do like his
Trouba,
upside.
actually.
I like his upside a lot. I think 6th round maybe is a little bit early, but after seeing the defenseman that went, I'm not sure if I would have gotten him any later. So I'm happy at where I got him. I don't know if maybe I would do that later in the year or closer to the season, but for now, I feel like, again, I think you've got to gamble a little bit to get the guys exactly you want. So I built the team that I wanted to build outside defense. I wish I wouldn't have faded defense so hard. I think if I could replace Mike Green with someone, I'd be happy. I wanted Ghost there, and Ghost got sniped 2 picks before. So that's the disappointing thing there. And I wanted Kale McCarr as well, but Kale McCarr actually went a lot earlier than I thought. So,
all right,
but loved it.
Let's swing through the other guys, the other teams real quick. Just give kind of...
So peripheral free pasta. Connor McDavid, Blake Wheeler, Taylor Hall, Ryan O'Reilly, Matt Barzell, Nicholas Backstrom, Torrey Krug, John Klingberg, Alex Petrangelo, Miro Heiskanen, Ryan Johansson, Pekka Rinne, David Riddick, Oscar Clefbaum, Derek Stepan, Zach Cassian, and Andreas Athanasiou.
So my first thought is this team is in trouble.
Yes. This is a team I would target for trades immediately.
Yeah, it has all the scoring
in a good way,
for sure, but the hits. They're down on every peripheral category. There's not a lot of big shooters on this team. You got like Barzell, you got Krug, you got Klingberg. Not a lot of big shooters. You've got one big hitter in Cassian and Pim guy, but beyond that, no Pims really. And then you've got like Wheeler hits a bit, but there's no hits either. So this team needs to make trades pretty early on.
Or pick people up to kind of like, for example, one guy that he should have drafted, I would have drafted at least or picked up, is Radko Gudas. I'd take Radko Gudas on this team over, say, Heiskanen.
Or Borietsky. Or
Borietsky, one of those
Adam
guys.
Larson would have been a great pick.
Yep, one of those guys is just going to help you not be a peripheral free pasta and back to just a gluten-free pasta.
Yep.
Okay, let's move to Team 69. Nathan McKinnon, Jonathan Huberdeau, Elias Pettersson, Mike Hoffman, Jack Hughes, that was the big gamble, Logan Couture, Victor Hedman, Alexander Edler, Eric Gustafsson, Ryan Suter, Brock Besser, Andrei Vasilevsky, Tomas Greiss, Tomas. It's just Thomas Christ.
Mhm.
Sam Reinhart, TJ Oshie, Antti Ranta, and James Van Riemsdyk. So it's shocking to me that Thomas Christ went higher than Ranta.
Yeah.
That's
kinda-
surprising to me.
guess people expect him to
Considering
play at
Grice
least.
isn't even a starter.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to play less with Varlamov, I think.
Maybe.
I don't hate this team.
I think it's the same problem. I don't see a lot of hits. I
Yeah.
don't see a lot of PIMs.
I don't hate it in the terms of there's a lot of point upside. But yes, again, like this is another...
There are like blocks on this one at least. Like Hedman, Edler, Suter all get pretty good blocks. So for that, there's some upside. There's no big hitter on the team.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
zero. Yeah, so that's the big concern there. Shots seem like they're going to be fine, so not as big a concern there. But yeah, hits and PIMs are where I think the biggest problems are.
Yeah, if we look at the shots totals from my sheet as I was kind of keeping track, they're about third or fourth in shots. So yeah, fine in shots, but in trouble in a lot of other places. They actually have less peripherals projected on this team than peripheral free pasta.
Really?
Yeah, which is shocking. Okay, moving on to Team Mucky. So Alex Ovechkin, Leon Draisaitl, Claude Giroux, Vladimir Tarasenko, Pierre-Luc Dubois, Jeff Skinner, John Carlson, Roman Josi, Dougie Hamilton, Vince Dunn, Cam Atkinson, Semyon Varlamov, Peter Mrazek, Brendan Gallagher, Anders Lee, Brendan Gallagher, Nick Schmaltz, and Bowen Byram. Byram is an immediate drop, so that's
Yeah.
who knows who would be picked up in that spot, but immediate drop in that situation. I don't know if I love the defense in Roman Josi, Dougie Hamilton, Vince Dunn,
And
John
Carlson.
Carlson.
I like it. I like it. This one actually has pretty decent peripherals.
Yeah.
It's pretty well covered.
Good hits and blocks. Not so many shots though.
There's a
It's a low
Yeah.
shot team.
well, you have Ovechkin at least.
Ovechkin, but then after that, I mean, John Carlson
And-
didn't
and
shoot
Gallagher.
that much.
Gallagher
Josi,
shoots a ton.
yeah, you've got a few guys who shoot, but not super.
This team
super
seems
well.
like it has a lot of shots to me actually. Josi shoots a lot. Hamilton shoots a lot. Tarasenko shoots a ton. I think they're pretty good on shots. The thing I'm not even sure that I'm worried about much. This team looks pretty decent to me actually. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that worried about them. I don't know if Vince Dunn is going to be somebody to hold on to long term, but beyond that, and then Bowen Byram, yeah. So you basically have Byram. Yeah.
I stand corrected. This is actually the second highest team in shots.
Yeah, there you go.
I am mistaken. I was looking at the wrong column. My bad. So they are the second
Who's the highest team?
The highest team is you.
Yes,
Of
it
course.
is.
Of course. Of course. Okay, let's move on to
Team
Ryle.
Sweden?
Team
Relay?
Sweden, as we're going to call it. Brad Marchand, Austin Matthews, Sean Monahan, Patrick Laine, Jonathan Tays, Capo Caco, damn you, Dustin Bufflin, Mark Giordano, Tyson Berry, Shane Gostisbehere, Charlie McAvoy, Frederick Anderson, Robin Leonard, Alex Galchenyuk, Mikhail Sergachev, Kasperi Kapanen, and Ryan Reeves. Now, I don't want... My one complaint about this team would be there's too many defensemen. You have a bench defenseman and your util spot is defenseman in this situation.
Too many defensemen.
So Sergachev to me
Yeah, I'll
is
drop
a trade
Sergachev.
or drop. Kasperi Kapanen, we'll see. It's a good bet.
This team actually looks pretty good to me. Yeah, you've got Kako, who's obviously unprojected, so it's hard to tell what he's going to do. McAvoy I always feel weird about him because he always seems to put up 40 points somehow without having exposure to the top power play. He'll get a lot better if Krug goes down, and they don't give Grizzlick the top power play like they did last season.
Yep.
Beyond that, I really like the Line A grab when he took him, nice and late as opposed to taking him in the first round like crazy people did last season.
Yep.
This team looks solid to me.
Yeah.
I don't know about Pims other than Reeves. It seems like Reeves is the Pim. Oh no, Bufflin and Pims.
Yep. This is actually the third best team in PIMS.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
Projected at least from Dobber.
Forget about Bufflin. Yeah,
Not bad.
I don't really see a lot of holes.
Except the defenseman. I think the defenseman is one thing, but that's a good thing because they can fill that pretty easily.
Yeah, shots maybe.
Yeah, they're okay. They're average in shots, projected by Dobber. Okay, moving on to Atco. Mikko Rantanen, Alexander Barkov, Dylan Larkin, love these three forwards. Victor Arvidsson, Joe Pavelski, Elias Lindholm, Chris Letang, Rasmus Dahlin, Shea Theodore, Matthias Ekholm, Jaden Schwartz, Sergei Bobrovsky, Braden Holtby, Nazem Kadri, JT Miller, Nate Schmidt, and Travis Konechny. Okay.
Yeah,
I love the forward core. The defense is actually really great, too. Chris Letang is whatever, he might be injured, but I love Dahlin. I love Shea Theodore. He especially got Theodore really late. Matthias Ekholm was a good peripheral filler for the most part.
looks like hits are missing.
Yes. Yeah, hits are missing here.
Yeah, Pims also probably missing. I think they're probably good on blocks, I would guess.
Yes, they are
But
they're towards the top end blocks.
they've got a lot of like very high upside scorers.
Yep.
So all the gambles here are scoring gambles. They're not.
Yes.
They're not gonna be able to provide.
You've
much
got Larkin,
beyond-
you've got
yeah.
Barkov. Who
Well, yeah, I'm
plays
talking
a lot
about
of
like
games
JT
too.
Miller, for example, right? Like Miller and Konechny, they're not going to provide a whole lot beyond possibly points. Yeah. So points are there. Hits, pims, possibly trouble.
Potentially. Okay, moving on. Well, we talked about mine. Let's move on to optimal hunters. Sidney Crosby, Gabriel Landeskog, Jamie Benn, Tom Wilson, Vincent Trocheck, Philip Forsberg, Shea Weber, Drew Doughty, Aaron Ekblad, Travis
done it?
I almost said Alexander, Aaron Ekblad, Travis Sanheim, Bo Horvat, Carey Price, Henrik Lundqvist, Clayton Keller, Jonathan Drouin, Colin Miller, and Alexander Georgiev.
So, man, I would have traded in Lundqvist and Georgiev for Dubnyk, and Dubnyk went last
Yep.
round. So that would have given him an extra spot. Beyond that, this team looks really good to me. I don't know that I love Sanheim or Colin Miller, but there's upside on both of them. So they're the type of players that you gamble on late, and you can hold them for like a couple of weeks and then drop them if necessary.
Yep.
A lot of high upside guys, a lot of peripherals on this team. So we're not seeing this one. Point scoring seems like is questionable, possibly. Jamie Benn on a dip. Landeskog, I would assume is going to dip a little bit from last season. Crosby's obviously good. But then you look at guys like Trocheck, where we're not going to have top power play. We don't really know yet what he's capable of. I still like him a lot, but not having top power play is a problem.
This team is actually one of the it's the best peripheral team. It has a little bit of has question marks on offense. So I like how it's built, and there's a lot of offensive upside, and so that's clearly what they're betting on. With the offensive upside, you're hoping that the offense comes and that you're already set in peripherals, but you are taking quite a bit of a gamble there. Okay, so we actually accidentally skipped Team Lewis, so let's go back to Team Lewis real quick. David Pasternak, Jack Eichel, Braden Point, Matt Tkachuk, Max Domi, Nico Hischier, Darnell Nurse, Zach Werenski, Justin Falk, Justin Falk.
Come on.
Ivan Provorov, Tomas Hertl, there's Tomas, Connor Hellebuck, Tuukka Rask, Nikolai Ehlers, Mikhail Granlund, UC Saros, and Will Butcher. Will Butcher is useless, so Will Butcher's whatever.
I don't think Saros is necessary, even though he was a decent pick.
Yeah.
You got Hellebuck and Rask, you're probably fine there.
Yep.
Granlund and Ehlers are both a bit of a gamble. But
I like
Granlund
it.
went through some stuff.
Yep.
When he was coming to Nashville, he only got 5 points his last 16 games played there. You obviously expect to see that go up. Ehlers was on a down year as well, but you could see that go up. I think Domi was the big reach here. Domi and Nurse both went a little earlier than I thought. I think the defense, there's like no points coming from this defensive core. Nurse, Werenski, Falk, Provorov. Only one of them is on top power play for sure. Well, we would assume, and that would be Falk. Falk is unlikely to get a ton of power play points as he has not been able to do that recently. So power play points actually in general feel, I don't know if they're that big of an issue, but because they're so lacking on defense, I feel like that's the first thing I'd think about. Granlund has the upside. I don't know if he's going to get there. Ehlers doesn't play top power play. Point, Pasternak, Eichel are all pretty good, but Eichel doesn't get a ton of power play points either.
Yeah, this team is just, I think, in trouble points-wise.
Yeah.
You're very top-heavy. You're relying on Eichel, Pasternak, Point to really carry the weight. And then from there, it's a big question mark. Where is Hischier going to end up? Matthew Tkachuk, does he actually have as incredible of a season as last year? Darnell Nurse is even going to get top power play. Zach Werenski, not that big of a point guy. So you're looking at just a lot of players, I think, where the points are a big question mark and you're just very top-heavy. And that's not fantastic, but I don't hate the team. I don't hate some of the picks. I agree with you. I think Darnell Nurse went a little bit early.
It is interesting that your projections show him having pretty good power play points, actually. So
that's not. I don't have power play points projected. Those are actually blocks.
Oh.
I just didn't change the name.
I was going to say, that doesn't seem right to me. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so now we're down. Okay, so let's go to Magnum PI.
All right. You want to read us through here?
Yeah, let's do it. So Patrick Kane, Jonathan Goudreau. I've been looking at names for so long, I'm forgetting how to say some of these. Patrick Kane, Johnny Gaudreau, Mark Scheifele, Mark Stone, Brady Tkachuk, Dylan Stroh, Matt Dumba, Seth Jones, Quinn Hughes, Josh Morrissey, Evgeny Dadonov, Ben Bishop, Jordan Binnington, Colton Parayko, Jason Zucker, Nino Niederreiter, and Paul Stastny. Okay.
I see peripheral trouble again here.
Yeah, I see peripheral trouble for sure.
There's Brady Tkachuk and there's Dumba, and then like the defense core here will provide. I mean, besides Hughes, will provide okay peripherals, including Parayko, but not a ton of hits, not a ton of pims.
Yeah.
Pims are the big question mark. I don't see pims anywhere on this team except for Tkachuk. Yeah, so I think the point scoring is there. A lot of good point scorers. Got Kane, the top four there. Kane, Goudreau, Scheifele, Stone. Like, yeah, there's point scoring.
Oh, yeah.
But
and then after that, you're looking at Brady Tkachuk, big question mark. Dylan Strome, big question mark. Even on defense, I mean, Seth Jones, Quinn Hughes, and Josh Morris here.
yeah.
Those three, I mean, Seth Jones.
Even Dumba, we don't really know
even
yet.
Dumbo, we don't know. So that defense is a big question mark. And you have Colton Parayko as well as a big question mark on defense.
But you do get the peripherals at least out of
The
them. As far as
goaltending is
blocks.
fantastic in Ben Bishop and Jordan Binnington.
Yep, very good there.
But yeah, I think I see kind of the same glaring hole here of very top heavy, a lot of question marks on the other side. And the thing I think that I look at with stuff like this too sometimes is what is the upside, right? Like how high is the actual upside, and you don't see as much upside here.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to Team Test, great team name.
That was leftover
from last year. Mitch Marner, Sebastian Alco, Alex DeBrincat, Timo Meyer, Evgeny Kuznetsov, Teuvo Teravainen, Turbo, PK Subban, Cale Makar, Tomas Chabot. How do I keep want to say Tomas? Sam Girard, William Nylander, Philip Grubauer, Jack Campbell, Anthony Mantha, Kevin LeBanc, James Neal, and Ronek.
Okay, my gut reaction is this looks like a dynasty draft.
Yes.
Like all these players are like 24 under.
Yeah.
Except for like a couple.
It's crazy.
You got Marner, you got Aho, DeBrincat, Meyer, Turbo. I mean, he might be 26 or something, but he's young.
Jack Campbell,
Makar, Chabot, Girard,
Also,
Nylander.
This team is in goalie trouble
Yeah.
because they've got Grubauer and Campbell. And that's it.
Mantha's like 25, I think.
Yeah.
LeBanc
He's
is young. Hronik's young. All these guys are young. This looks like a dynasty team.
Yeah. Except for
so-
James Neal.
Except for James Neal.
Yeah.
So this is a massive. The entire team is a gamble, which is a bit much.
But what I will say, my sheet does like them from a projection standpoint. I think the big question mark is Marner. And when does he play? If Marner doesn't play, you're in big trouble because that's your first round pick now not playing. And that's a lot of points to give up there. So I do like the team quite a bit. I think there's a lot of goalie trouble here. I like the defense a ton. PK Subban, Cale Makar, Thomas Chabot, and Sam Girard.
I'm worried
about
Pims and hits still, though.
Yes.
Like they have a lot of these. It's one of those teams where a lot of players contribute a little bit.
Yes.
So it's a little harder to look at, but Pims, I don't see any.
Yeah.
Maybe Subban kind of, but
yeah. I mean,
that's
my team is actually the worst in the league in blocks by almost 100. So I didn't mention that when we were talking about my team. I'm going to mention that now. By about 100, I clearly faded blocks.
Well, you took Bouchard. He's not projected.
That's okay. That's fair. That's fair. Bouchard is not projected, which is not helping me out. But Bouchard is not a blocker, so yeah, it doesn't help me. Okay, moving on to the last one.
Saucy dumpers.
The saucy dumpers with a taco logo. Okay, so John Tavares, Steven Stamkos, Patrice Bergeron, Sean Couturier, Phil Kessel, Matt Duchene, Morgan Riley, Keith Yandel, Rasmus Ristolainen, Jake Muzzin, Braden Shen, Marc-Andre Fleury, Martin Jones, Marc-Andre Fleury, Martin Jones, William Karlsson, Jeff Petrie, Mikhail Backlund, and Wayne Simmons.
Okay, I think I like this team, actually. You got
I do
Tavares, Stamkos, Bergeron, Couturier up front. That's a lot of scoring. Kessel's a gamble, of course.
But a
you got him
good
pretty
gamble
late.
with a lot of upside and not that low of a floor.
No.
Well, especially where he got it. It was exactly where I'd want.
Duchene feels like he's another gamble. We don't really know what to expect from Nashville, but didn't have to take him too early, so there's that. Is shots a problem on this team? I think shots might be a problem on this team.
Shots do look to be a problem on this team.
There's Stamkos. I mean, you've got guys that shoot, but you don't have anybody that shoots a lot. And
and Risto is a big question mark of how much is he actually going to get.
And there's also a handful of guys here that don't shoot a lot. Like Shen doesn't shoot too much. William Karlsson doesn't shoot too much.
Yeah.
Jeff Petrie's on the decline with shooting. Backlund is Wayne Simmons doesn't shoot a ton anymore. We don't really know what to expect from him, but that was the last round pick, so whatever.
Yeah.
So I think shots and Kessel's not exactly known for a volume shooting. He's known for scoring goals.
Yeah.
But it seems like shots are the big concern.
Yeah. But I do like it a lot. I do like this team
Yeah,
quite
but
a bit.
that's the only. I'm like stretching here, so
I
there's
also definitely want to run this league and like let it run through and see
not what is
what
automatic.
happens. See what happens if people want to pay attention to it and just set lines. I probably won't pick people up, but I'm just curious to see what happens. I'm curious to see how it ends up. Like it'd be fun at the end of the season to revisit some of these and be like, what happened? How did
Good.
it end up? Can just look at the players that we took. I think one thing that'll be interesting is to look at how do we do a draft now versus how will that draft then end up running later in the year. So like in a month or so, how different is my draft or my approach going to be to how did I do it now? So that'll be interesting. But anyways, that was quite a bit of time.
About
We had
2 hours.
a lot of people tuning in on Twitch too, so we appreciate people tuning on Twitch. I'll grab my dog. People asked who my dog is. Come here, Bandit. Let's grab the dog. Come here. Dog time. Running around. Okay. Okay. We have the dog. Hello, Bandit. What do you have to say about fantasy hockey? Nothing. Okay, he usually talks. Anyways, there you go. That is our episode. Thank you for tuning in to our first mock draft. Bandit even enjoyed it. Had a great time. We will be back at some point. I think next week we're going to start doing our division previews soon.
Yeah.
So we're starting to get into
Soon.
the thick of the off season here, where
Actually, I have to look at the schedule to figure out what's next.
and Brand's gonna have a kid soon. We are ready. We're locked and loaded. So make sure to join in on our Discord. Join our Discord. We'll put where we're doing more mock drafts, when we'll do more mock drafts. As we do episodes throughout the season, we want to do mock drafts on different platforms. So we'll do one on Fantrax, one on Yahoo, one on wherever else people draft, and we'll do a few more throughout the season. So stay tuned for that kind of stuff. And other than that, thanks for tuning in. That was really fun.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Or watching, or whatever you did.
Ah!
Bye. Bye.
Okay.
Can you disconnect this?
I disconnect the audio. It's still streaming. I have to stop it. Let me save this before it breaks. No, not that.